Spend $1,996 or more on select major kitchen appliances. And keep your lawn looking fresh with savings on the Ego 15-inch string trimmer. It was $219. Now it's $199. Shop SpringFest today because Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 4/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The early game
with Bill Gunter.
What is it? Today is, I believe, the 132nd running, if I'm looking correctly, of the Boston Marathon. Now, of course, the Boston Marathon started to honor the great Paul Revere for his midnight ride.
Paul didn't run.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
I was hoping that Terry and Jen were listening to that because that's factually not true. That is, I think I tricked you, but no, the Boston Marathon was not started to honor Paul Revere for his midnight ride.
And Jen Jensen.
The theme of this show, I don't know what happened.
On your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
Oh, welcome in on a Wednesday morning. Bill Gunter. It'll be Jen Jensen and I. Just an old school throwback episode for about an hour. For about an hour as Jen gets ready for, I should pay more personal attention to your personal life. I shouldn't just be a coworker for you.
Talk about you only.
Yeah, we should do more dinners together is really what we should do and have more one-on-one conversation. What are you about to do? Are you going on vacation, or are you just tired of me, or what is your deal for the next 3 days?
I don't know that it's necessarily vacation, but I'm going back to Illinois. We're working on some estate stuff for my mom, so
Okay.
it'd be good to see the family and stuff, but kind of
Yeah. Okay. All right. Did nothing. We know, given that they're in Illinois and they're in the Central Time Zone, that they don't listen at 5 a.m. in the morning. So any shots we take at our families, we try to get in very, very early so that they don't hear it. And Jen's right there. It's good to know that the rest of the Jensen family is so proud of you that they don't listen at 6:03 Eastern Time.
Yeah, exactly. And who could blame them? But I will say, my mom's
It's a very
birthday would've
cheap
been
shot that you just kept rolling right through with.
correct. I'm just sliding right over it.
What were you saying? Your mother what now?
So my mom's birthday would have been this Saturday. So we are going to go to a casino in honor of her. So I think that'll be super fun.
Well, that'll be really cool. So, yeah, we will all kind of do our own thing for really the next several days. Preston will be back on Friday. We'll all be back together as one big family next Tuesday for the Bill Gunter pre-birthday extravaganza show.
I'll bring the flavored Kit Kats.
That's right. Yes, the flavored Kit Kats. Do look forward to that. Maybe we'll even do something with me having to run the board. So we'll do all that, and then we will be off next Wednesday. All of us will be off next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Basically, I decided I'm taking almost a full week for my birthday, which is a week from today, 41, a week from
Mark
today.
your calendars.
That's right. Be ready. Next May the 2nd, next Tuesday, big birthday extravaganza right here as I will start the birthday celebration a day early. We got plenty of sports to talk about this morning. Again, Preston out, but don't fret. Got Liv Thompson coming to join us, former South Carolina Gamecock women's basketball player. She'll be in for 2 hours this morning, and then at 8:40, since Jen will be on the road tomorrow and will be out, we're going to get Kerry Tharp in here for our weekly Corley Pool Solutions Checkered Flag Challenge. So we'll make the picks a day early, and we will make all that happen tomorrow from 8 to 9. I've got Mr. Whiteboard himself, Patrick Perrette.
I was hoping.
Yep, he will be back on tomorrow morning. I had texted with him yesterday. He is fired up. It is his favorite time of the year. So for those of you marking your calendars for appointment listening, we got Liv Thompson this morning from 7 to 9. We got Kerry Tharp from 8:40 to about 8:56. And tomorrow, last hour of the program will be the one and only Patrick Perrette, ready to grace us with his draft knowledge. And yesterday, kind of continuing on down a path where the draft is extremely odd, it's extremely weird. I never know what to make of it. I never think it's necessarily completely about football. But you had, excuse me, Vegas getting involved to some extent on Will Levis. And basically, it has something to do with a Reddit post where somebody says that Will Levis on Reddit, and I will admit, Jen, have you ever used Reddit? I have never used Reddit.
There has been a time or two where I've done a Google search and it's forced me to go to that. And I'm like, no, I don't like it.
I don't understand it. I'm terrified of it. I'm old. I'm shaking my fist at it as we speak. Can't get it up on the live stream because for some odd reason my computer's little camera this morning is not off and running like it should be. But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. Will Levis now, I don't know, shooting up Vegas draft boards, if you will.
He's like kind of making his own move.
Yeah. Multiple sports books reported receiving a surge of bets on Will Levis to go number one, causing the former Kentucky quarterback's odds to move wildly. Levis odds to be the top pick went from 40 to 1 to 4 to 1 on Tuesday. 40 to 1 to 4 to 1. I do a little gambling in at times when I'm bored, when I have nothing else to do. And that's a dramatic increase. Just to put that in context, a $10 bet apparently on Sunday or Monday would have netted you $400. 40 to 1, $10, 40 to 1. That would have gotten you a nice $400. Could have gone and gotten a nice steak dinner, maybe even gotten a beverage or two. As of last night, it was down to 4 to 1, which means a $10 bet would win you $40, which is half a tank of gas. So bottom line is something's going on odd there. And I'll ask this morning, if the Carolina Panthers do indeed take Will Levis, will you throw your phone at the screen? And this doesn't even have to be a question of if you're a Panthers fan. It's just a what I feel like is common knowledge in football. But do you throw your phone at the screen? Do you throw a brick through the screen? Do you go like that one guy did in the World Cup and just take a knife to your screen and start just ripping into your television? Do you just laugh at the Carolina Panthers? 803-404-6100. We'll get into that a little bit this morning. I want to get back into this idea, the plan, whatever you want to call it, the group that's working on storming the field or court, and some of their ideas and some of their plans about how to try to stop the storming of, I think more so the football field. Because I think in basketball, they kind of sense it coming. Obviously, not every time can you sense it coming. I think South Carolina might have stormed the court, back in 2019, when Jermaine Cousinard hit what was essentially a half-court shot to beat a top 20 Kentucky team. There might have been a court storming that night, and obviously the way that played out, the yellow coats couldn't get their yellow rope up in time, and nobody had a chance, and it was just, let's go party with the team. But by and large in basketball, you can sense what's coming, and they're able to kind of create a safety pathway, if you will, for teams to get off the court. So it's more of a football thing, but we'll discuss that a little bit this morning. Also, this thing with Deion Sanders, I got a feeling I'm going to be in the minority on this. I got a feeling, just based on tweets I saw yesterday and message board posts. Deion Sanders, of course, right now, basically either, depending on how you want to phrase it, purging the Colorado football program, encouraging players to leave, resetting the Colorado. I don't know what you want to call it and how you want to deem it, to each his own. But a tight end for Colorado yesterday, who has entered the transfer portal, saying yesterday that Deion Sanders is not allowing him to get practice film for him to share with other universities that would like to recruit him. He put out a tweet about it yesterday. I can't say I blame Deion on this, and I'll explain why. I really kind of understand where Deion Sanders is coming from. So 803-40.
Yeah, I would like to have that discussion a little bit more because, I think that's interesting.
In this day and age, again, we'll get into it a little bit. I kind of understand what Deion Sanders is doing. Obviously, I think JC and Preston made some good points yesterday as it pertains to Deion Sanders and what do they call him? A helicopter parent, basically trying to just help his kid, Shador Sanders, and do some other things for his kid being around. And if things aren't going well, just how much he wants to continue coaching at Colorado. But I'll give some takes on that because it's obviously been very interesting watching what he's doing at Colorado. For me personally, not having an attraction, any kind of feelings toward Colorado, it makes it a little bit easier. But we'll talk about that this morning. In between all that, if you want to weigh in, 803-404-6100 is how you can be a part of the program. We'll hit a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Gamecock Larry. I've got a feeling he's ready for a prediction against the Auburn Tigers. We'll get to Gamecock Larry when we come back. You're listening to The Early Game on 107.5 The Game.
Have you missed any of the early game?
You can catch up by going to the Early Game on demand page at 1075thegame.com.
Or by downloading our 107.5 The Game app on iTunes or Google Play.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck Boxes. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Back in 1964, Justice Potter Stewart defined pornography as, "I'll know it when I see it." Today, sports fans ask, what is an ejection-worthy NBA foul? What is an illegal sticky substance in baseball? And what is tanking? All right, well, we all know it when we see it, don't we? I'm Boomer Esiason. CBS Sports Radio.
WeatherGuard, the name that stands for unmatched security in truck boxes, is now making a name for itself on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit. WeatherGuard is the official sponsor of the safety and security work crews at Speedway Motorsports tracks across the country. Engineered to meet the demands from job sites to race sites, WeatherGuard truck boxes feature double welded seams, weather-tight seals, and high-security latches and locks. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com/truck.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person
I'd
counts.
rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Sponsored by Taco Bell. In the morning, Taco Bell keeps it toned down and simple, like the breakfast crunch wrap, with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown in a grilled tortilla. Nothing too wild, just delicious. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m.
I'm proud to work for Volvo Cars because we're helping build a safer, more sustainable future for everyone. My name is Tamara Thompson. I'm from South Carolina, born and raised in Sumter. I'm a quality launch supervisor at the Volvo Cars plant in Ridgeville. I'm helping build the new Volvo EX90 here. At Volvo Cars, people are at the center. We feel supported, recognized, and feel like we can grow our careers. And we're hiring. Apply now at readysc.org/Volvo.
No manufacturing experience required. Must be 18 years or older with a high school diploma or GED.
Give Mom a timeout with special gift card savings at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Get a free facial gift card when you purchase a spa package. Search for the location nearest you to explore their exclusive online gift card sales.
What's up, Gamecock Nation? This is Spencer Rattler, here to tell you about the best South Carolina coverage out there at GamecockCentral.com. For a limited time, you can become a member and get access to all USC sports and recruiting information you want for a special deal. Head over to GamecockCentral.com now to become an insider and join the family.
Spring and summer are just around the corner, and that means enjoying your backyard pool. But don't let it be dirty. It's time to contact Corley Pool Solutions, 803-445-8109. They will inspect your pool equipment weekly to make sure it's operating properly. They will test, treat, and maintain, and they'll do it all at a flat rate cost, and that includes the chemicals. It's actually more affordable for you to use Corley Pool Solutions than to go to the pool store yourself. So call them today, 803-445-8109.
Plus text section title with approved credit call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month, and your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
Carolina Power Equipment, the Midland's Kubota Superstore, is proud to announce our association with Kai Kroger, University of South Carolina punter extraordinaire.
I am super happy to be here. Carolina Power Equipment is the place to come get yourself a Kai Bota.
Sorry, Kai, that's Kubota. You know, Kubota tractors and zero turns.
That's right. Carolina Power Equipment has the awesome Kai Bota tractors that can kick some serious dirt.
Yes, the Kubota L-Series tractors are some of the most dependable and popular tractors on the market.
Yep, and the Kai Bota zero turns can keep your lawn looking like game day every day. Guaranteed to stop and turn on a dime, just like my sweet kicks.
It's Kubota. Kubota!
Yeah, that's what I said.
Carolina Power Equipment, 2490 Charleston Highway in the heart of Casey. Or visit carolinapowerequipment.com.
Kubota, it's the only orange I'll ever love.
Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Wednesday morning to you. It's time for your First Alert Traffic Update. As we've seen early on this morning, there has not been anything going on around the region in terms of major backups, slowdowns, confirmed collisions, causing problems for that morning commute. Of course, as we keep on into the rest of this day, we'll keep you posted for the morning hours, getting you to work as safely as possible. Thanks again for listening for this WIS First Alert Traffic Update. I'm meteorologist Tony Cifaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The Early Game with Bill Gunter.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
And Jen Jensen on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
6:18 on a Wednesday morning as we get you up and get you going. Some sports topics to get into. I'm sure we'll find also a draft pick question. Monday was what condiment is number one in your draft pick. Yesterday, what 90s sitcom number one on your draft board. Today, we don't have Preston's witty decision. So Jen, maybe I'm gonna have to leave this up to you on what is a good question there. Think about that we need to get to.
Some kind of a draft.
Yes. I have been informed that Heath Klein is actually in town. He will likely come in and join Liv Thompson and myself here from 7 to 9 a.m. Kerry Tharp as well, set for about 8:40 this morning for our Corley Pool Solutions Checkered Flag Challenge. But we start off, as we always should each and every morning, with the one and only Gamecock Larry. How you feeling this morning, young man? What's the health situation? You doing okay?
Good morning, Jen and Bill. I feel pretty good. But now I want to say something. I don't want to. I feel like I got to apologize. No, I ain't going to apologize. I want to say something about Bill and Preston. But now, I don't want to make you mad. I'm just going to be cutting the fool. Okay, Bill?
Okay. This is going to go well.
Okay.
Save the audio.
Okay. I did not think that old Gamecock Larry would sit here on Tuesday morning, March the 25th, April 25th, and listen to Bill and Patrick on 107.5, the Gamecock Nation, and listen for 2 hours and 15 minutes about sitcoms, little bit of movies, and ketchup and mustard.
Yeah.
No, very little sports.
And we have been
But
nominated for an Emmy for that show.
Yeah, but you just cleared me up. You said you had this week for something different things, but I just want to let you know this old Gamecock. He sat here and listened for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Sitcoms, and I don't know what a sit. I don't forget all about them sitcoms and all that. But boy, I listened to it. I just wanted to bring it up, Bill. I still love you, buddy. Don't get mad at me. But I just had to turn it off about. I had to turn my radio off about 8:20 because I just got out. I don't know. I was laughing so hard, and I was saying, we're going to talk a little bit of sports, but I don't. You might have talked about them the last 30 minutes, but I still love you, buddy. Jen, have a great trip, and
Thanks,
boy, I tell you, I'm sitting here laughing. I'm gonna listen to you, Bill. But I'm sure I enjoy you. I enjoyed you. But I will say I ain't gonna predict nothing. I ain't gonna predict nothing for the next 4 series. But I will say we're gonna win 10 out of 15. Go Gamecock! Love all y'all.
There you go. Yes, that was. It was such a good show yesterday. He's still laughing.
Exactly.
That's how you know. That's how you know that it was a really good show. Is when we have Gamecock Larry laughing almost 24 hours later. So we'll continue to do that because that was a lot of fun. And quite honestly, I tell you what, the feedback yesterday, I would put that in terms of feedback and in terms of interaction, one of the top 2 shows that we've done here in the last 6 years. So a lot of people weighing in yesterday, and appreciate a lot of those people. 803-404-6100. Yeah, that was Gamecock Larry at his absolute finest, and said he wasn't going to make a prediction. Also, we got to remind him it's Patrick is on tomorrow to do the draft stuff. Preston is on each and every morning. He's out today, though. 803-404-6100, how you can weigh in. I want to go back. So yesterday, I'm interested in this. Zachary Courtney taking to Twitter. Now, who is Zachary Courtney? He is a former tight end at Colorado that has since elected to transfer out. Now, on Monday, 18 players on Colorado's roster entered the transfer portal. Courtney is a tight end. He took to Twitter, and the tweet that he put out stated that Deion Sanders will not give him his practice film that he wants to use to send to other teams. I'm okay with this. Am I the only one that's not okay? Like Deion Sanders, look, we know the secrecy of college football. Steve Spurrier was one of the last, will probably be one of the last coaches that ever goes out and opens practices, a lot of practices, by the way, to the public, to the media, to the public. There was a lot of neat days, I guess you could say, early on in my tenure covering football with thebigspur.com, and you saw a lot of really cool stuff. I will admit, I think even at my size, I learned how to play defensive tackle because of Brad Lawing. And Steve Spurrier was kind of a guy who was very open. And then when it got a little bit closer, he would shut things down and kind of go about preparing for the opening opponent. But Steve Spurrier was really the last one. I think we went so far opposite with Will Muschamp, who would go completely out of his way to not release any information. We never knew what exactly to talk about with Will Muschamp, both during the spring and during fall camp, because the information was so limited. But Zachary Courtney was a freshman tight end, 6'6", 240 pounds, tight end out of Texas that enrolled at the University of Colorado, has since wanted to transfer, was originally a 3-star prospect, according to his bio on Colorado's webpage. 24/7 Sports listed him as the 1,000th player nationally regardless of position. He was the number 3 excuse me, 53rd overall tight end, number 141 player out of Texas. You get the point. Like, we're not talking about an elite prospect here, and no offense to Zachary Courtney. Didn't play last year, redshirted, and now wants to transfer. Actually doesn't want to transfer. I'm pretty sure Deion Sanders informed him he needed to transfer. And at this point now, he wants his practice tape because that's all he's got to be able to showcase to other schools. Well, you can get into the debate of should they release the practice tape of last season. I don't really know how much is held there from the previous staff in terms of practice film. I would assume that Zachary Courtney wants more of the practice film from the previous 14 practices in the spring game. And I'm not real sure I would know any coach that would do that. Brian on our live stream says the same thing. He says, show me a coach who will release practice film, and I'll show you a coach who won't be a coach for long. RL says, what class did you say this kid is in? Last year, according to his Colorado bio, he was a freshman. It doesn't tell me if he was a redshirt freshman or it just says 2022 football roster and lists him as a freshman. So again, the only film he would really have to go on, in my opinion, would be his high school film that he is using that he used for his original recruitment. So the bottom line here is I don't know, like Deion Sanders, and this gets into a bigger picture of what's going on at Colorado about Deion Sanders trying to redo this roster. And this is what part of the transfer portal is all about. Last night there was a report on ESPN. Houston is losing their top running back. Alton McCaskill IV is set to enter the transfer portal. Dana Holgorsen went as far as to say he wished the kid. I thought Dana Holgorsen, by the way, handled this extremely classy, very professional. Holgorsen put out a statement, said, I appreciate everything Alton has done for us. It's a sad day. I was a little shocked because the kid had a good spring, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's over. This is what kids are doing. And I guess there can be some people out there who want to say, well, the coaches need to be held to a higher standard. Jen, I get it. But in situations like now, I'm kind of transforming over to the conversation of what Deion's doing with kind of running kids off to get better players in. Look, Colorado was 1-11 last year. We're in a day and age now with the transfer portal. People are expecting Lamont Paris to turn this basketball program around quick because of the transfer portal. Oh, you should get this done quicker. You can go out and you can redo your roster. I feel like, based on text we've seen, tweets, I'm in the minority. I have no problem with what Deion Sanders is trying to do at Colorado by, yes, running off some players who may not be fit for Pac-12 football.
But now, and you were saying that he was not going to let them use any film of any practice or whatever that they've done at Colorado, but he's okay with looking at film for kids from other universities to pull them from the transfer portal, correct?
If that's what the university does, but also, I mean, Deion, I will say, let's say if a kid's transferring from TCU and I can get hold of that spring film, and whether I want that player or not, yeah, give me some TCU spring film so we can start studying it and looking at what they're doing.
I'm just making sure that if he's limiting the amount of access that the kids have to the film that they had at Colorado, then I'm assuming that he's going to be okay with getting transfer portal kids in and their universities also restricting what they can bring.
I'm sure he's fine with that. I would think most coaches would understand that. Obviously, Deion has not commented on this. It's a big picture, and it's why I'm very interested to see what happens with Colorado and Deion. The more I've thought about this is far more interesting than, let's say, if he'd have gone to Auburn or Georgia Tech or something like this.
He is reinventing the wheel pretty much.
It is a program that has been downtrodden. Marv says spring games are broadcast live. Exactly. I don't know. I looked yesterday and I don't agree, Marv. Marv says you're wrong on this, Bill. Yeah, the spring game is different. Any coach can go out. I would assume the Pac-12 network. I don't have the Pac-12 network, but I would assume the Pac-12 network had the Colorado spring. Actually, ESPN put it on. That's why I missed it. I do remember that now. ESPN put it on. So, yeah, that's a good point, Marv, in terms of coaches can get the spring game. It was on ESPN. But, no, I would never release 14 practices of practice film that I had that was private. And I would be upset if Shane Beamer was releasing practice film of any recruit that was going out. If you're trying to prepare your team, you're working on certain things, specifically you've got new coordinators and you're installing a new system, you're trying not to highlight some of what you're trying to accomplish. No, that would be, to me, and and it's interesting because, again, Deion Sanders, if this was, let's just hypothetically say, I was trying to think of an off the radar. If it was the new Georgia Tech coach, we wouldn't be discussing this.
Mhm.
But it's Deion Sanders, and Deion's going to draw a lot of attention. Richard weighs in on that and kind of says the same thing. He says, I'd like to see Deion do things a little quieter. Being in the media too much is not always a good thing because people are going to start coming for you. Maybe so. Marv is one of those people who says Deion will be fired within 2 years. I don't think so. Deion's going to be there for a while. Colorado's going to use this for publicity as much as they can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I suspect that if anything, unless the record is just horrible, Deion will move on before they move on from Deion.
That too, because that was what I think, was it Preston and JC were saying yesterday. He does seem to have that personality where if it's going poorly,
He'll
he's
bounce.
He's going to step in a different direction. 803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in.
Preston. Go ahead.
Preston does take. Preston's listening. Thank you, Preston, for listening, being a good listener. Preston says if his practice film was any good, he probably would not be getting forced out. It's also a good point. Now, still,
No, strong.
I don't know. This is where, if Preston's driving down the road and wants to hop in here for a second, Preston can weigh in on what exactly practice film looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it?
And I guess I was picturing more like a highlight reel as opposed to, a full snippet of practice film. As far as the kid was concerned, I definitely would not want them to just release all the practice film. I guess in my eyes, I was thinking more of just like highlights that the kids could have.
Yeah. So 803-404-6100. We'll see if Preston wants to weigh in on that as he cruises around the state, out helping the kids a little bit this morning. Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen, we're holding down the fort in here. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Got something to say?
Ring us up on the Love Chevy phone line. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer.
At 803-404-6100.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Lexington Medical Center is hosting an all-star hiring event. If you want to join their team, come see them at Sagra Park on Friday, May 19th. They're offering on-site interviews and special game day sign-on bonuses. Schedule an appointment at lexmed.com/jobs.
All right, do you want to record this?
Critical 888-411-7640 for details. Buy a Ram and buy it at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. We have truckfuls and truckfuls of Rams. South Carolina's truck giant stays stocked. Up to $11,000 off on a new 2022 Bighorn Ram. Or take one for just $359 a month. Save $5,000 on new Durangos, Chargers, and Challengers. Credit concerns? Not with JT. The truck giant says yes, you can. It's Ram Truck Month at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. JT'sDodge.com.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through June, purchase through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Beacon, always building.
I'm Taylor Bisciotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. After 18 seasons, 4 MVPs, and winning a Super Bowl in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is headed to New York, where an immediate return on their investment is expected. Jets general manager Joe Douglas said Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game and is excited to add someone of his character and ability. More quarterback news: the Bengals are exercising the 5th-year option for Joe Burrow. The Bengals said they'll work with Burrow to secure his long-term future with the team. And no surprise here, the Vikings picked up the 5th-year option for star wide receiver Justin Jefferson. This means the Vikings have Jefferson under contract through the 2024 season. And do they know, or will the decision come down to the wire? Is there a consensus between Panthers general manager Scott Fitterer and head coach Frank Reich with which player is the right pick at number 1? Reich said there is consensus and they're excited. Stay tuned Thursday night for the draft to find out. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Advertisement sponsored by Allied Injury Group, not available in all states. This important message from Allied Injury Group reminds you that if you or someone you love was injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, you deserve financial compensation for your medical expenses, lost wages, pain, and suffering. Don't rely on insurance companies to look out for you. If you haven't spoken to an attorney, call our legal experts now. work accident, truck accident, collision with an uninsured driver, or a slip and fall, Allied Injury Group has helped clients win hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. They're available 24/7 to take your call and fight for you. Remember, if you or someone you love suffered injuries in an accident that wasn't your fault, like being struck by a drunk driver, a collision with an 18-wheeler, were a victim of workplace negligence or more, get the financial compensation you deserve. Call Allied Injury Group for a free consultation now.
Call 800-781-1815. That's 800-781-1815. Again, 800-781-1815.
It's time to get a hop on your spring cleaning checklist with the help of Zerust Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZerustColumbia.com.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Wednesday morning to you. It's time for your First Alert traffic update. As we've seen early on this morning, there has not been anything going on around the region in terms of major backups, slowdowns, confirmed collisions, causing problems for that morning commute. Of course, as we keep on into the rest of this day, we'll keep you posted for the morning hours, getting you to work as safely as possible. Thanks again for listening for this WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Cifaroli.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
He just couldn't stay away. He loves us too much, listens intently each and every morning when he's not here. Joining us on the Love Chevy phone lines, Preston Thorne here to discuss this little Deion Sanders. I love it. Because Preston, first off, tell me how important you see the practice film for a player being able to transfer.
I don't see it as important at all. Most people want to see stuff that you see in the game film. Practice film is oftentimes very sloppy. People are working on things. You're trying out new techniques. You're learning new routes. I don't think there's a bunch of value in somebody evaluating a practice film.
When you say that, so do you side with the player here, or do you side with Deion just not putting it out? Do you, if this was you, if you had a child and this was your child, would you be offended by this if you couldn't get practice film? Because I guess my look at when you say that, I don't know what other schools are getting by watching the practice film of Zachary Courtney.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If this was my child, I would not be offended because I understand the game. I understand that basically this is proprietary information. This is not things that you can share with other people. And it kind of made me think of, I've noticed this when even players from our university have transferred to other places, and they would post highlight clips. They would post things that I know that they got from the video team. And Shane and crew have been very gracious in allowing them to post it, because I'm not sure that I would allow them to post it based on this being part of the deal. You play first, you get access to this information, and once you leave, then you no longer have access to it.
Yeah, I don't look. I think I'm in the minority on a lot of this with what Deion is doing and redoing his roster and how he's going about doing it. Again, if Colorado had good players, they wouldn't have been 1-11 last year. And I hate to say it like that, but that's to me kind of the truth. If you've got a decent team, you're not going 1-11, and they were, and that's why they have a new coach. I understand in this day and age too, Preston, we expect things done quickly. There's a lot of people who are expecting Lamont Paris to turn this basketball program around quickly because of the transfer portal. Shane Beamer has been able to turn this thing around a lot quicker than maybe we would have given him time for 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we might have said, oh, Shane, you get 4, 5, 6 years to really get this thing going. Now, coaches are given 2 or 3 max, and Deion's doing his best to get it done. And maybe there's selfish reasons, as you pointed out yesterday. He wants to do it with his son, Shadur. But I'm okay with how he's handling this program.
Yeah, it's a new age, and to be honest, Bill, there's always been roster churn in college football. Coaches might have been a little bit more discreet about it, I think you remember when Coach Murray came in, there was a local kid that he kind of said, hey, I don't know if this is the place for you, and then he kind of ushered him out the door nicely. But this was always something that would happen as far as rosters are concerned. You have a year-end meeting at the end of spring, and coaches kind of tell you where you are on the depth chart, what their plans are for you, and oftentimes they would let you make the decision that they hope you would make. But I guess Deion's being a little bit more forceful and saying, hey, I'm not sure if this is the place for you. And when somebody tells you that this is not the place for you, it's probably wise not to stay there because you're not going to have a great time here.
No, he's really, of the transfers that he's had, only 2 of them, I think it might be 3 now that Lemoynis, the wide receiver, went in on Monday. It might be 3 that actually have the 24/7 Sports transfer portal rankings of like 88 or above. There's a lot of these kids that are transferring out that are transferring down. I think one was going to Florida State, an offensive lineman went to Florida State. Again, the wide receiver that had the big game on Saturday will probably have some legitimate options. And there's one other player, again, there's 47 of them. I can't remember all of them, but there's one other player who I think had some decent options. Other than that, you're seeing a lot of these kids have to transfer down, and he's replacing them. I noticed the other day, I did not know this. He's replaced them with guys like Cavassier Smoke from Kentucky, a very serviceable running back who's going to go out there and, compete for the starting job. And who knows, we'll see what happens, but that's a upgrade for what Colorado had.
Yeah, he's just trying to upgrade the roster, man. And a lot of those guys sort of ended up at Colorado because Colorado was forced to take whatever they could in the recruiting wars. So it's all part of the deal, man. It's how college football has been for a long time. I think we're just seeing it accelerated and maybe a little more broadcast, but this is not very different than what normally happens.
No, it's not. You're on the road today, but I need your help. Gamecock Larry has called in. He's very excited about our poll questions we asked yesterday. He would not give us a top condiment nor a 90s sitcom, although he was probably working very hard in the 90s and didn't have time for these shenanigans and these silly sitcoms. But do you have a decent poll question I can throw out today for when Liv comes in? It sounds like we may get a Liv Thompson and a Heath Klein in studio round table in the 8 o'clock hour, which could be pretty entertaining. Do you have a good poll question for us today?
I sure do, Bill. Of course. I have plenty of these. This is what I think about when I can't tweet.
Okay. All right. What is today's Preston Thorne poll question?
We're back to food again. We're back to drafting again. Today we are drafting chicken. Top draft picks for the chicken part. The chicken part that you would draft first overall.
Interesting.
So like the leg, the wing, the breast, the gizzard. I
very lowly pick. I feel like Gamecock Larry would take the gizzard off the board very early.
I do agree
My
with
mother-in-law would.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do think there's some people that are going to go gizzard on me here, and it's just not going to be a good. All right, so we've got the leg, the wing, the thigh, the breast.
Yep.
Am I leaving any parts out?
There's a contingent of folks that might take the feet.
Oh, yeah, I have seen those in the store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have seen those in the store. I've been very shocked by that. All right, Preston.
No, thanks.
Where is Preston and crew off to today?
We are on the way to the Low Country. We're actually going down to the hometown. We'll be in Summerville, South Carolina today. I say it's the hometown, but there's 2 new exits on I-26 that didn't exist when I was growing up down here. So it's a whole new world.
No, you're right about that. They're building almost basically a whole new town down there.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is a new town, Nexton. If somebody told me they lived in Nexton the other day. I'm like, what is that? They're like, yeah, that's Summerville. I'm like, no, it's not. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I've seen this.
So,
I've driven by. Yeah, Nexton. I mean, they're putting a whole it's a flat building of a town.
It's amazing, Bill. Somerville has a Hall Shop House. When I grew up in Somerville, we didn't have a movie theater. It's amazing.
There you go. Rich weighs in chicken livers. We left out chicken livers.
Oh yeah.
And then he also says, the question is, if you're taking chicken livers, are you taking them to fish for catfish, or are you taking them to fry up or whatever it
Well,
is?
and to me, actually, you're going on 2 different things because if you're talking innards, that's different than the parts.
Ah, okay. All right. Thank goodness we're going to try and stay with this.
That is different. We are going for this draft purposes. We will include innards and we will include uses also. So this could be for eating. This could be for feeding. Your choice. First round pick, parts of the chicken.
I'll leave you with this as you make your journey. D from Manning weighs in. He'll take the fried liver with Tabasco.
I can say I'm not a huge chicken liver person, but if I do have to eat a chicken liver, please fry it as hard as you can and let's throw as much hot sauce on there as possible.
Oh, and Les weighs in. The chicken neck was left off.
The chicken neck. There is a place for the chicken neck.
Okay.
See, Bill?
Just
please inform me of the results, sir.
I will keep you updated, buddy. Y'all travel safe and look forward to seeing you back on Friday.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all.
Take care. There you go. That's yeah. Whew. I feel like the old school people are up early with us. Richard going with fried gizzard and hot sauce. Again, Les with the chicken neck. So yeah, we've got the just what happened to just the simple chicken wing and buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
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 It's
I would say either the chicken wing or like a chicken breast. I've never been a real big leg person. I'm not the dark meat gal, so
okay.
I'm kind of, I'm pretty boring.
Ah, there you go. There you go. There's our own
Shocking.
Our own Jennifer Boring Jensen. Well, she'll be less boring here in about 2 hours when we catch up with Kerry Tharp for our quarterly Pool Solutions Checkered Flag Challenge. We'll get into that. Cover a little bit more. Liv Thompson due in with us this morning. We'll get some of her take on what Deion Sanders is doing. Be interesting to hear from a player that's just graduated and how she sees things. So a lot to get to this morning. You're listening to Bill Gunner. She's Jen Jensen. Preston Thorne on the road. He's off. Liv Thompson due in. Maybe a Heath Klein sighting. Kerry Tharp. It's a grand Wednesday morning here. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
We are very social.
At 107.5 The Game on Twitter, 107.5 The Game on Instagram, and 107.5 The Game on Facebook.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request? Oh, I'll have to check.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
That time of year, you're probably starting to think about the summer. We're right around the corner from it. You're thinking about like summer vacations. You're thinking about jumping in your swimming pool. You're thinking about jumping in the lake. You're thinking about all these fun things you do. Are you thinking about your heating and air unit? Because in case you're not, they don't refer to Columbia, South Carolina as famously hot for no reason whatsoever. You need to go ahead and get those thoughts in your head. If your heating and air unit has been a little on the fritz lately, if you've had some issues, it's time to contact AAA Heating and Air, 803-677-1500. Again, that's 803-677-1500. If I told you right now, hey, you can save up to $5,300 in money on a new heating and air unit, you'd probably be a little interested in that. Well, you can. Call AAA Heating and Air's Comfort Advisors today and find out about the Inflation Reduction Act, where you can save as much as $3,800 in tax credits on a new heating and air unit. On top of that, AAA Heating and Air offers you a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit. $3,800, $1,500, that's $5,300 you could save. Plus, with AAA Heating and Air, they offer you a 15-year parts and labor warranty along with guaranteed financing. Good credit, bad credit, whatever it may be, AAA Heating and Air is going to make sure you get financing. So contact AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. Again, that's 803-677-1500. Contact AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Sponsored by Taco Bell. In the morning, Taco Bell keeps it toned down and simple, like the breakfast crunch wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown in a grilled tortilla. Nothing too wild, just delicious. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m.
At Kroger, we know the minute a tomato is picked, the fresh timer starts. The sooner we get our produce to you, the fresher it is. That's why we've shortened the time from harvest to home for our tasty tomatoes, strawberries, and salads. So no matter how you shop, you have more time with your fresh produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
And now, shop what you love and save $2 on each participating item when you buy 3 or more with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, Scott here from Traditions Fine Jewelers. When it comes to diamonds, everybody knows that we have the best selection. But did you know that we also have the best prices? How do we do it? In Mine Diamonds, we work directly with the largest cutters, and in lab-grown diamonds, by working directly with the growing laboratories. which allows us to offer you the best quality at the very best price. Like a lab-grown 1-carat diamond for just $999 or a 2-carat for just $2,999. We've even got a beautiful colorless 3-carat diamond for just $4,999. And once you've picked your diamond, we can help you pick exactly the right engagement ring style from our selection of over 1,000 rings, or we can help you design a custom ring that meets your exact specifications. So do your homework and see what diamonds are selling for online, and then come see us. You'll get exactly what you want at the very best price. Only at Traditions Fine Jewelers, 5134 Sunset Boulevard in Lexington, and in Sand Hills, where the Midlands get engaged.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
Today is the day. Today is the day you empty your garage and closets of your old tech. Today is the day you hang up on that dial-up modem. Today is the day you tell that old GPS to get lost. Because while Staples recycles old tech for free each and every day, today, during Staples' free Tech Take Back, Rewards members get $10 in Staples Rewards when they recycle their tech. Cut the cord on your old tech and recycle it at Staples. N617. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
Get the right care at the right place. Visit Lexington Medical Center's convenient urgent care centers for minor illnesses and injuries, and use our emergency room for emergencies. Go to lexmed.com/care now to know where to go for the care you need now.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Wednesday morning to you. It's time for your First Alert traffic update. As we've seen early on this morning, there has not been anything going on around the region in terms of major backups, slowdowns, confirmed collisions, causing problems for that morning commute. Of course, as we keep on into the rest of this day, we'll keep you posted for the morning hours, getting you to work as safely as possible. Thanks again for listening for this WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Schiavaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
The early game
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Jen, we missed. I listened a little bit back in the fall to Preston and Pearson, and I don't think Preston is a huge Will Levis fan. And we get, of course, you'll be out of town. I forget about that. Preston will be back in on Friday, and I am now rooting like crazy for Will Levis to be picked number 1 by the Carolina Panthers to see Preston's reaction. I feel
he won't be pleased.
No, I don't think he will be at all. In the brief conversations we've had on this program, I get the feeling that Preston would be just coming here hopping mad and just, I'm not sure he has an affinity for the Carolina Panthers either. Like, he doesn't strike me. He strikes me as a pretty well-rounded, just NFL guy, just reasons to like all the teams. But I feel like if the Panthers take Will Levis, Preston's going to have one team. He'll be like his mother and just move one team.
That boy.
Yeah. Oh, that boy last night, by the way. So many topics I needed to get into with Preston. Love to hear, since he's going home, maybe we can get audio of Miss Thorne's opinion last night of Trae Young just putting a dagger in the Celtics last night with a big shot as the Hawks hang around the series. They win 119-117. Trae Young last night burying a 3-pointer late, just very Trae Young's interesting to watch. 38 points, 14 of 33. Shot 33 times last night. 33 times. I would never encourage my son to watch Trae Young. I would never. That's not the kind of basketball I'd want Austin watching. But he is very interesting to watch, and the way he plays the game. It's a low efficiency Steph Curry, if you will. But the Hawks get the job done last night, hang around the NBA playoffs for another game. They're down 3-2. Last night also, Denver eliminating Minnesota. So Anthony Edwards' season comes to a close. He did have 29 last night. Jamal Murray with 35 there again as Denver wins 112-109. And the late game, Phoenix puts up 136 points. Devin Booker, who's also a lot of fun to watch, scores 47. They eliminate the Clippers 136-130 last night. Tonight you'll get New York and Cleveland, Los Angeles, Memphis, Miami, Milwaukee, and Golden State, Sacramento. There's your NBA update for the day. We'll come back. Hour 2 on the way. The early game, 107.5 The Game.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is USC linebacker Mo Kaba, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
There's no better place to catch a game on a fall Saturday than at Williams-Brice Stadium. Visit thegamecockclub.com today to secure your tickets. Whatever the game, whoever you're with, just catch a game.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, part of our tractor lineup rated #1 in durability and owner experience, Z Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Bring home select L Series equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 72 months, plus save up to $800 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Stop by Pioneer Farm Equipment in Orangeburg, 1 mile off of I-26 exit 154B, or at PioneerFarmSC.com.
Plus, text entitled with approved credit call 888-411-7640 for details. Buy a Ram and buy it at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. We have truckfuls and truckfuls of Rams. South Carolina's truck giant stays stocked. Up to $11,000 off on a new 2022 Bighorn Ram. Or take one for just $359 a month. Save $5,000 on new Durangos, Chargers, and Challengers. Credit concerns? Not with JT. The truck giant says yes, you can. It's Ram Truck Month at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. JT'sDodge.com.
Hey, Scott here from Traditions Fine Jewelers. When it comes to diamonds, everybody knows that we have the best selection. But did you know that we also have the best prices? How do we do it? In Mine Diamonds, we work directly with the largest cutters, and in lab-grown diamonds, by working directly with the growing laboratories, which allows us to offer you the best quality at the very best price. Like a lab-grown 1-carat diamond for just $999, or a 2-carat for just $2,999. We've even got a beautiful colorless 3-carat diamond for just $4,999. And once you've picked your diamond, we can help you pick exactly the right engagement ring style from our selection of over 1,000 rings, or we can help you design a custom ring that meets your exact specifications. So do your homework and see what diamonds are selling for online, and then come see us. You'll get exactly what you want at the very best price. Only at Traditions Fine Jewelers, 5134 Sunset Boulevard in Lexington and in Sand Hills, where the Midlands get engaged.
Hi, I'm Glenn Matthews.
And I'm Melanie Matthews.
And we are the 3rd-generation owners of Modern Exterminating Company.
In a time when corporate consolidation, high-pressure door knockers, and inexperienced startups are becoming the norm, isn't it nice to have an experienced, local, family-owned company that you can count on since 1955?
Modern Exterminating has been the local, independent industry leader in the pest control business for the last 67 years. Experience the local, family-owned difference for yourself at 803-765-2315 or pestfreesc.com.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet, celebrating the incomparable Silverado for the first time in history, the #1 selling retail full-size pickup in America. Find yours at South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer, I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. The early game.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
Here's the problem with that 9-minute average. Once you run in 9 minutes, you're no longer trotting. You're running.
Yes.
Also a problem.
So this is the cocky trot I'm gonna need you to slow down a little.
With Bill Gunter.
I'm an
It is
expert.
the
I'm an
trot,
expert
yes.
in trotting, and that is not trotting. That is running, full on, very close to sprinting.
And Jen Jensen.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
On your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
.701 on a Wednesday morning. Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. Oh, Jen, we're going to see now if we've caught the college student sleeping in. We'll see if Liv has overslept the alarm. I think I've only done that once or twice so far in 6 years. I actually had a dream this morning that I did that I woke up and it was 8:15. And I was like very confused. So we'll see if we've called her. She was.
I tell you what, during COVID, when you guys were broadcasting from your homes,
Mhm.
I think you got a lot of saves and a lot of passes there because you were able to sleep in.
Yep.
So you would roll out of bed at 5:45 and
That's about exactly right.
and crank on the
I would
equipment and just
I would
start
actually
talking.
I would actually have the equipment set up from the night prior. Like I would do it the night prior so that it was already going when I came downstairs, and it was just a matter of pouring the coffee. And
While one of us still got up at 4, got ready, came into the studio, and your pampered self just rolled right out of bed.
we gave you a high five. What else? I mean,
know.
my goodness.
I know. I'm bitter, aren't I?
Golly, you can't show any appreciation around here. It's never enough. We gave you a high five.
I appreciated that.
Yeah, we gave you a shout out.
I didn't mean to hurt you, when we high five, because I know that it was a little strong for you to handle.
Did
But
seem very aggressive there. You didn't have to follow through and smack me in the back of the head, but
isn't that what you do?
that's right. Well, it's that, or it's the other move where you follow all the way through and finish a little bit lower. But 803-404-6100 if you want to be a part of the program this morning. Preston has joined us via the phone lines. He is traveling today, and tomorrow will be back Friday. But he took time to join up. One of the conversations we had in the first hour is this. I think it's just interesting across the board on what Deion Sanders is doing at Colorado. And maybe it's the bravado of Deion Sanders. Maybe it's the flair. Maybe it's just the prime time, the way he likes to do everything. He is doing it more openly than, say, other. Have you heard much about Hugh Freeze going to Auburn and anything that's happened down there? I mean, have you really paid attention? Because that's a big hire. Like Deion Sanders, and I'm not trying to put him down or the Colorado program down, but Deion Sanders in Colorado is a sideshow. I don't anticipate. I know a lot of people that as we started this discussion, weighed in this morning was like, he's going to get boat raced and they're going to be 2-10. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think he has acquired more talent out there to get them to 4, maybe 5 wins. I would use the word fascinated way too many times for your liking if I started really breaking this down. But I am just really excited to see just how good his coaching is. We didn't see that at Jackson State. The one time I saw it, he was getting blistered by Buddy Pugh in South Carolina State. And I was like, this guy, Buddy Pugh's coaching circles around him. South Carolina State's far better. So to actually see Deion, whether it's in a CEO type role as a head coach or whether he's fully invested in the offense and the defensive play call, we're going to learn a lot. And I don't anticipate them going and winning the Pac-12. I don't anticipate them being a massive part of the college football playoff discussion. But I am very intrigued just to see what he does and how he performs. And so with all that being said, he's doing it publicly, and we're seeing it, I think, a lot like we've seen the underbelly, if you will, of NIL and the transfer portal. We're seeing the underbelly of stepping into a new program, a 1-11 program, and trying to both change the culture, but also change the talent level that creates a 1-11 team. And it's not pretty. And in this day and age where the NCAA has now said, hey, you can bring in as many kids as you want. You can run your roster. All you got to do is be at 85 or less by August 1, however you want to get there. It's not the same recruiting tactics that it used to be where you could only sign 25. If Deion Sanders wanted to go out and sign 85 freshmen, he could do it. If he wants to turn his roster completely over and bring in 40 freshmen and 45 transfers, he can do it. He can do it however he wants, whatever he sees fit to create a winner in Boulder as quickly as possible. And I can't look away. I can't stop watching any news bit that comes out. I've got to read it. And they open with TCU. It's that September 2nd weekend. And the only reason that really has my attention a little bit more is because I guess if you look at that September 2nd date, that opening day of college football, and it's kind of a dud. I've talked about this a little bit. That opening day is not exactly the most thrilling or exciting opening day that I can remember. You've got a couple games that stand out, a couple that maybe grab your attention. Virginia and Tennessee, I guess. Again, I don't know. Obviously, South Carolina and North Carolina, I'll circle back to the second. That's why I'm discussing this. But you look at it, it's not inconceivable that the debut of prime time as a Power 5 coach at TCU doesn't draw game day. Otherwise, quite honestly, if you look at the schedule on September 2nd, the best game available for game day is South Carolina and North Carolina up in Charlotte. You get two premier quarterbacks with Spencer Rattler and Drake May. You've got an up-and-coming program in South Carolina. You've got wherever North Carolina's going with Mac Brown. Yeah, I mean, your only other competition for game day is West Virginia, Penn State. I mentioned that I mentioned that Colorado TCU game. There's a Boise State, Washington game. That's your opening day of college football. That's your September 2nd, your week 1 opening day. Yeah, you do have week 0. But, if you're Shane Beamer, if you're South Carolina, and the way you finish the season with the victories over Tennessee and Clemson and a very admirable performance in the bowl game against Notre Dame, and you come back and you're going to have the Spencer Rattler hype, you're going to have this team you're going to have maybe a top 25 matchup, maybe. I would assume South Carolina will be in the top 25. I don't know about North Carolina, but, maybe you get a top 25 matchup. It's conceivably the best game that day. It would be hard for me to believe that somebody's not going to pick up South Carolina, North Carolina for prime time. You shouldn't be stuck. I would hope. I don't know. Maybe ABC makes it the 3:30 game. I don't know. But again, you look at that schedule on opening day, South Carolina, North Carolina is one of the 3 best games that day. The point spread, I think, still right around 1.5. North Carolina's a favorite. So you're looking at a mega game. And again, if you're Shane Beamer, if you're South Carolina, you love all the momentum that you've currently gathered, both in recruiting and from the way the season ended last year. You want to be the showcase. You want to draw more attention to yourself. Everybody, most of the time, I realize a lot of you kind of have a disdain for college game day, but you'll probably watch it on opening day, whether it's for 5 minutes or 3 hours. You're going to at least flip over. You get a chance to have that publicity. That's incredible. And I think the only game, and I'll tune into it that day, the only game that really rivals South Carolina, North Carolina is the debut of Deion Sanders with Colorado at TCU, the national championship runner-up last year. So we'll see how it kind of plays out. But again, I'm not pulling for Colorado. I'm not pulling against Colorado, but I am really, really intrigued to see what that happens. And watching Deion Sanders run his program so far here in the offseason, and I'll say it one more time, I love the fact that it's Colorado and it's not Auburn or it's not Georgia Tech or South Florida or one of those programs that, the just taking on this Colorado program that had a great run there in the 80s and the early 90s. But other than that, has been morbid. Just, I think they had they had one other year, I believe, around 2000, 99, 2000. But other than that, this program's been nothing. It's going to be very interesting to see how it works. But if you want to weigh in on Deion Sanders, again, the story I started with is Zach Courtney, the redshirt freshman tight end for Colorado, transferring out yesterday, going to Twitter and putting out there on Twitter that he is not able to get his practice video for him to send to other colleges, and people acting like this is some huge crime. Preston and I both agreeing, Preston calling in on just a little while ago and agreeing, no, you would never release your practice video. Preston did say, and I haven't seen it, but Preston did say that, he had seen where players transferring out of South Carolina may have used it on Twitter or something. I haven't seen that, but if that's the case, all right, I don't agree with it, but I'm not a head football coach. 803-404-6100. We come back. I'll get back into this field storming thing. I'm interested here. We touched on it a little bit yesterday, but I'm kind of interested to hear your take on who should be punished the most. Is it the university's job to keep fans off the field? Is it the fans' responsibility to not go celebrate with the players? Should the head coach be punished? I'll get you more on that story. We discussed it a little bit yesterday. I know it was discussed also with Jay and Colin in the afternoon, but we'll get back into that a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, that trade finally official. He's even put out a farewell to Green Bay. See how Jen feels about her hated rival, the Packers, losing their star quarterback. We'll get her take on that. Kerry Tharp due up here in about an hour and 30 minutes. We should have a Heath Klein sighting in about 50 minutes. There's a lot to do this morning. If you want to be a part of the program, 803-404-6100 is the early game on 107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game on demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
On the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
Oh, I said it just a little while ago. It's getting to be that time. We're almost into the month of May. Are you ready to go out and jump in your backyard pool? Because I'm telling you, it is swim season. It's time to get out there. It's time to jump in the pool and enjoy all the perks that come with owning an individual personal pool where you can relax after a hard day at work. You've heard Jen and I. You know what it's like working with her. Oh, I'm exhausted. Let me go home and relax, float around in my pool. She feels the same way. She goes around, she fixes a big beverage, gets on her raft, closes her eyes, turns on a little Imagine Dragons in her earbuds, and just floats around her pool. And the reason we're able to do it and have a nice time is because our pools are clean. They're nice. They're beautiful. And you know what? That's all because of Corley Pool Solutions. They'll inspect your pool equipment weekly. They'll make sure it's operating properly. They'll test, treat, and maintain your pool, including the chemicals, for a flat rate cost. Give them a phone call today, 803-445-8109. Corley Pool Solutions believes in providing the absolute highest quality swimming pool service at the most affordable price to you and your family. And I'll say it again, one thing that makes Corley Pool Solutions stand out is the head man, the boss himself. The owner of the company is there making sure it's done correctly. Tracy Corley will be on site making sure that pool is spectacular and ready for you to come home to and enjoy each and every day. Make that phone call and get them lined up for some summer maintenance. 803-445-8109. Again, that's 803-445-8109. Be like Jen. Listen to some Imagine Dragons in your backyard floating around in your nice, clean pool this summer. That's Corley Pool Solutions, 803-445-8109.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck Boxes. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Boy, was it rich hearing Raiders inheritor Mark Davis accuse baseball's athletics of, quote, effing over Oakland. Are you kidding me? Does Davis somehow not recall how his black and silver franchise skipped town on East Bay fans twice, once for L.A. and most recently for Las Vegas? Is he nuts? I'm Boomer Esiason. CBS Sports Radio. WeatherGuard, the name that stands for unmatched security in truck boxes, is now making a name for itself on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit. WeatherGuard is the official sponsor of the safety and security work crews at Speedway Motorsports tracks across the country. Engineered to meet the demands from job sites to race sites, WeatherGuard truck boxes feature double welded seams, weather-tight seals, and high security latches and locks. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com/truck.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Sponsored by South Carolina Education Lottery.
The Powerball jackpot for Saturday is $37 million. Be sure to stop by your local South Carolina Education Lottery retailer and get your ticket today. See sceducationlottery.com for jackpot odds and a store near you.
Let's text and title with approved credit call 866-243-4623 for details. JT means Jeeps and trucks. The biggest Jeep and truck selection in South Carolina is at JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. Get your new 2023 Jeep Wrangler now. Save $5,000 off. Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, Compass, Wagoneer. New Jeeps up to $7,500 off. New Rams up to $11,000 off. Shaky credit, don't sweat it. JT says you're approved. JT means Jeeps and trucks. 378 Lexington. JT'sJeepRam.com. Jeep celebration event.
Hey, this is Ray.
And Mary Ann with Absolute Glass.
We've been blessed to serve the Midlands glass needs for 20 years.
We have been fortunate enough to help thousands of customers with the best glass service in town, in our store, and all over the Midlands.
Sure, we can fix your windshield, usually at no cost to you.
But at Absolute Glass, we can also care for all your other glass needs too.
Home windows, shower doors, tabletops, shelving, storefronts, and all your commercial needs.
Contact us at 803-951-7200 or at absoluteglassinc.com.
Just remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
Craft beer lovers, your day has arrived. The best breweries have teamed up with us to offer the Craft Beer Passport, your key to enjoying the finest craft beers at an incredibly affordable price. For just $99, you can enjoy 2 craft beers at 19 establishments like Chubby's, Old Mill Brew Pub, and Savage. A $285 value for just $99. The Craft Beer Passport, on sale now at 1075thegame.com. Craft beer lovers, get yours now.
Hey Gamecocks, Ben Cato, third generation owner of Cato's Power Equipment. It's official. We've traded pollen for heat, and it's here to stay. Want our advice? Don't sweat this summer trying to get your gas lawn equipment to crank. Skip the pump and the pricey services by investing in battery power from Steel. From hedge trimmers to chainsaws, lawnmowers and blowers, Steel has dozens of battery-powered tools designed for the homeowner and professional. Drop the hassle and get the most out of your work. In stock and charged up at Cato's Power Equipment.
Wrestling fans, feel the podcast heat. Woo! Join Hall of Fame wrestlers every week, sharing their stories from the past and insights on what's happening now. Strictly Business with Eric Bischoff.
Look at some of the early WrestleManias and the effort that went into them and the kind of crowds they attracted. You know, Pontiac Silverdome, for example.
Foley is Pod with Mick Foley.
There is no loss too steep if it makes for good TV.
Yes. Just search Podcast Heat wherever you listen.
Sponsored by TrainInfo.com. Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TrainInfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. TrainInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Wednesday morning to you. It's time for your First Alert traffic update. As we've seen early on this morning, there has not been anything going on around the region in terms of major backups, slowdowns, confirmed collisions, causing problems for that morning commute. Of course, as we keep on into the rest of this day, we'll keep you posted for the morning hours, getting you to work as safely as possible. Thanks again for listening for this WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Cifaroli.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified, Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence, knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game
with Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen
on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
(803-404-6100). That is how you can weigh in this morning. Preston is out. Olivia Thompson appears to have overslept. We've caught her. We've got her. It's a rite of passage when you do the morning radio show, especially as a college student. I believe she's also getting ready for exams, so she might have stayed up. We'll take the idea that she was up late, studying, getting ready. Big exam today. She graduates next week, so we will say that she's doing the right thing. That Mama and Papa Thompson should be very happy back in Lexington that their daughter, stayed up late and studied hard and just unfortunately missed coming in with us. But we like it when Olivia comes in. She'll be with us as we kind of move through, or as long as she wants to, over the next several months and hang out with us there occasionally. So it's okay. We'll get her back. But yeah, she is appeared to have overslept this morning. We'll see if Heath Klein oversleeps. But given that he's already texted me back, Jen, I'm going to go with a no on that.
Yeah, I'm thinking, he's probably been up since 3.
He woke up ready for this program. So we will ask him the same question that Preston has asked earlier as part of our draft week coverage. What is the best part? So he is your number one pick of how do I want to phrase this? Is where I need Preston. The chicken parts for food, or if you want to go fishing, the chicken livers, I guess. A couple of y'all have weighed in. Richard went with chicken thigh, by far the best part. Marinate in Italian dressing, wrap in bacon overnight, and throw on the grill. Saving that one, Richard. That sounds pretty good.
See, I think it's a texture thing.
Really?
I'm sorry, I'm back. Did he say thighs?
Chicken thigh, yeah.
Oh, okay. That would probably be okay. I'm sorry. I was back in gizzard land.
Yeah, nope. D from Manning going with livers are the original chicken nuggets. That might have just ended all of my chicken nugget eating for the rest of my life.
Because there you go with the texture.
That's not good. Anonymous texter just went with nuggets. Yep, that's true. A big part of the chicken, the nugget. Ray going with wings, and this was all caps, so Ray was very adamant. Wings. End of discussion. I kind of am with him there. The question is, do you like the smaller wings, or do you like the bigger that have the...
Oh, yeah. I really think I don't want to have to work that hard, so I think they need to be bigger.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I like the smaller wings.
Do you?
Yeah.
I
air fry them up. Well, have your Tupperware dishes of sauces.
Mm-hmm.
Air fry them and leave them plain, I guess is how you'd say it.
I think I need to compare them again to really make because I don't think about it. If I have smaller versus large, it's like, oh, there's wings in front of me.
Yeah, no, the smaller ones are, yeah. And I don't mean, Douglas says smaller wings, does not like the big meaty wings. And I don't mean I'm talking about the wings like that you get when you go to, like, say, D's Wings or
No, it's a good
Buffalo.
size.
Not the ones that I don't know how to phrase it. And I'm sure there's a better, but like the actual like chicken wing that almost is like a V. It comes back like almost the actual.
Well, that's the wing and the what's the other part? Isn't there another part that they call it like a?
I don't know, but now that I'm describing all this, I'm questioning my how I describe a chicken wing, because is the little bone in thing? That's not actually a wing, is it? Is it? I don't. All right, kids, don't listen to us for your chicken anatomy answers.
Anatomy,
We are go to school and learn. Go learn exactly. But yeah, 803. Douglas goes wing sections, not the whole wings. Multiple of y'all weighing in now to help us. The whole thing is the wing. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you, anonymous texter. Yes, we're as you can tell this morning, we like to promote food. We also like to make sure we're all on the same page. That's part of being one of the early gamers. You have to be on the same page with us for jokes later on. So we're getting that. That's what is the number one pick. A couple of y'all started right off the bat. I think it was I would like to say the older crowd that gets up a little bit earlier, because we had livers, the chicken gizzards, the chicken neck were all promoted. That's not the direction. That's not where we would go. Drumettes and flats. Thank you. That's the best way to describe them. Yes, thank you, anonymous texter, who should get a T-shirt for being correct.
Drumettes and
but
flats,
we don't have T-shirts to send out. One day, maybe we will. We'll be a big enough program. 803-404-6100. So let's ask Jen the big question this morning. Jen, your Chicago Bears will now face a Aaron Rodgers-less or a Green Bay Packers lists, or I don't know, the Green Bay Packers were without Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, they punted him out.
How do you feel about that, given that your Bears and the Packers have some sort of rivalry there in the NFL?
Yeah, a little bit of one. I'm actually glad, even though I don't think he was as effective in the past year, but when he made the comment, "Oh, I've got your number." Well, they kind of had, and but I don't think totally on them. It's on us for having an inept team for so long. But I'm kind of glad to see his icky, smarmy face not, part of the rivalry anymore. So I'm glad he's gone. It's okay when he leaves the NFL in general, but then we'll probably be stuck seeing him someplace else. So I'm just not a fan. I think he's just gotten bizarre and, as far as I'm concerned, dirty. I'm very critical of his hair and stuff.
We've had this discussion on villains, and I don't feel like, what I think we're discovering, what we are starting to classify on this program, is there's a difference between a villain and a difference between just an annoyance.
He is
like a
he's an
villain.
annoying weirdo.
I feel like a villain there is a level of respect there to that player, that person, whoever it may be, that you kind of, if it's a true villain, you go,
Wasn't Cam Newton more of a villain?
I think that's a great question, and I'd like Preston to be here to answer that. And because I'll tell you, I think Cam Newton became more of an annoyance, and look, I'm all for personality. We discussed this back during the women's Final Four, and I think that's what's raising the women's game, is that you get personality, and you get personality for multiple years and not one. The men's game is so void of personality. It's the NCAA men's basketball has no personality. There's nothing there that you attach. You can attach yourself to a coach a little bit, but there's no personality for men's basketball. Women's basketball, Angel Reese has personality. You like it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin Clark has personality. You like it or you don't. Aaliyah Boston had the big smile and kind of the lovable attitude, and it was personality, and you liked it, and maybe you said, oh, because look, let's be honest, not that they're the same, but Tim Tebow was the clean cut. I'm not, I don't party, I just play football, and we win a lot. And there was people going, that's not who he really is. I guarantee you, behind closed doors, he's over there just like partying it up and staying up till 4 a.m. and hanging out with Aaron Hernandez. You get the point. Even the most clean cut athletes, that personality becomes disliked because people don't want you to be better than they are. They go, no, that's phony, that's fake. But it's a personality, and you love it. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers has a personality. He has, as you said, an annoyance. Like, look at me, I'm going on a darkness retreat, and I'm much smarter than you. I'm more intellectual.
I'm going to go and take in some herbs to make me think better and be more centered, and which, hey, more power to him. But I guess I look at it as, when you're telling me you're doing all that stuff, you're just showing me that you're doing things that I would never do, because I don't have the finances to go do all of these earthy whatever things.
Well, and also I think a villain is someone who's truly doing stuff on the field that's being a villain.
I would agree.
I don't know if maybe somebody can correct. I don't think Cam Newton necessarily did anything on the field where people went, "Oh yeah, that guy, I dislike that guy." I think people respected who Cam Newton was as a player.
But
it was the off the field stuff.
Correct.
For Cam Newton, that, if you wanted to go back to the recruiting days, and did he or did he not take money, or was it his dad, or who exactly got involved?
And then post Super Bowl, or post playoffs or something, where he was just a jerk.
Was he? Was he?
Oh yeah.
See, I was going to say the other thing that I think annoyed people, and maybe some people loved it because this is personality. Again, this is where I was going with it. Is that Cam would do the kind of the wild dressing. The way he dressed for post-game press conferences.
Yeah.
And I think some people are like, oh, that's cool. That's Cam. He's looking at him.
I don't have a problem with that.
He's showing the personality. And then there's some people that are like, dude, what are you trying to accomplish with your wardrobe? Like, you're being annoying. And it's interesting with Aaron Rodgers. I'm kind of interested to know if people love this move because of kind of what you said. Because if Aaron Rodgers is thin-skinned, if he can't deal with the mean Green Bay media, like the 7 old men who have been covering it since Vince Lombardi let him in the locker room.
Right.
How's he going to deal with New York? The first time he throws 2 interceptions in a game, or the first time that he decides to dink and dunk his way down the field and a fourth quarter comeback and can't make it happen or something. How's he going to do with being chewed up and spit out? because you just feel like this is not a match made in heaven.
Mm-mm.
That this is going to be like Brett Favre, I think going to the Jets could kind of handle it. Brett Favre kind of has that personality, I think, that was a little more suited to handle mean media.
Especially, because he was so wishy-washy on going to teams and things like that. So I think he got kind of used to it, or, oh, I'm retiring, I'm not retiring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that. But yeah, I'm not sure how Rodgers will do. And, at his age, and granted, he's still very talented, but his performance hasn't been just quite, or at least the team he's been with hasn't been so spot on. So how's he going to handle not being at the top?
Yeah. 803-404-6100. Anthony says Aaron Rodgers isn't a villain. He's a super villain. Borderline Thanos. Oh, okay. Is he elicited that much emotion? Like it just feels like Aaron Rodgers, and that's why I'm kind of interested, because he is a name brand. Whether you like the NFL or don't, Aaron Rodgers, I feel like, draws an emotion from you. Like you're like, oh yeah, that guy. I've seen enough of that guy. He hosted Jeopardy and he acted smarter than me, and he goes on these weird retreats. And
I think just actually in the past few years, I think people maybe just thought he was a little bit arrogant, but his talent backed it up, and you just kind of deal with it. But I feel like in the past few years, he's just kind of gone down a more bizarre path.
Good use of the word. Anonymous texter says, I'm with Jen. I used to like Aaron Rodgers, but he's just become annoying and bizarre. 803-404.
Too much money. We'll do that. He can, if it would make him more normal and feel better, if he would like to funnel some of that cash my way, I would be happy to help him improve himself by taking some of that off. Just saying.
I like this. Jackson Mahomes is a villain. It's just the brother of Patrick. Yes. We good villainy there. Good villainy. A couple of you weighing in this morning. Joshua saying uncut wings, the way you can get them from the Chinese restaurant. Okay, that's a good discussion.
Yes.
My buddy Jason also weighed in earlier this morning, said it's a wing with a flap. Is talking about the uncut wings. Wing with a flap.
Okay.
So, yes, you've got those, but I'm not a fan of those. I like just the smaller wings. Just like I said, throw them in the air fryer, fry them up, put a big plate of them out, have a couple bowls of dips that if you want to just roll it around there in the teriyaki or the sweet Thai chili or whatever, knock yourself out, create your own.
Exactly. That's what, to me, that's what makes it fun, having almost like a wing bar.
That's right. 803-404-6100. You're listening to the Early Game, home of food, sports, and anything else we can come up. Villains. It's the Early Game. 107.5 The Game.
Gotta take. Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
803-404-6100.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
You always hear me talking about, well, we love food. I was going to say you always hear me talking about food. We do talk a lot about food on this program. Food's a big deal. Food is what brings us together as a family. If you're grilling out, if you're cooking at home on a Wednesday night, food brings us together, brings us to the dinner table, and you need great food as part of that family environment. And nobody offers better cuts of meat, of selections of meat, whether it's chicken, whether it's steak, whether it's seafood, even exotic meat, than Old Timey Meat Market. 3 locations to choose from, one on St. Andrews, one in South Congaree, and of course, my favorite, out in Lexington. Whether it's the bacon-wrapped filet that we had this weekend, maybe it's the large cut of salmon, maybe you want some oysters. They got great deals on oysters, and you want to steam those up on a Friday night while you're watching a little baseball and enjoy a nice little oyster party. Maybe it's some alligator meat. I love their alligator meat. Put it in the oven or grill it, put a little seasoning on it. Absolutely fantastic. Old Timey Meat Market is what brings my family together, and they'll do the same for you. Go visit one of their 3 locations. Again, St. Andrews, South Congaree, or again in Lexington. And also, right now, Old Timey Meat Market is hiring. That's right, at the Irmo location, cashier position. You can have the applicant can expect to work in a fast-paced, customer-oriented environment. You got to be willing to work on Saturdays as well as holidays because, again, Old Timey Meat Market will take care of you on holidays. I've not been afraid to go there a few different holidays and pick up some great meats. Go visit the Irmo location. You can apply today. Old Timey Meat Market. They're hiring now for a cashier position. You can apply inside, or you can give them a phone call, 803-772-3602 is how you can do that. I'm telling you what, again, Old Timey Meat Market has been bringing my family together for years with great cuts of meat. Whether we put it on the grill or whether we put it in the oven, Old Timey Meat Market brings the Gunner family together. Let them bring your family as well. Go visit Old Timey Meat Market. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Experience the future of connectivity with Spectrum One. You get Spectrum Internet delivering the fastest speeds in the nation for $49.99 a month. Advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced privacy and security, free for 12 months. And a Spectrum mobile line with unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G, free for 12 months. That's Spectrum One. Visit Spectrum.com or your local Spectrum store today. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
Plus, text section title with approved credit call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
Welcome back to Carolina Power Equipment and our special guest, Kai Kroger, punter extraordinaire for the University of South Carolina.
Yep, it's Kubota country right here at Carolina Power Equipment.
That's Kubota, Kai.
Oh, right. That's what I said.
Tell everyone why you love these Kubota zero turns.
They're like our best running backs. They can cut through anything, and they're built like our biggest linebacker, tough as nails. Plus, they can stop and turn on a dime, just like my sweet kicks.
Don't forget about all the Kubota tractors. This place is a Kubota superstore.
I love these Kubota tractors. They keep winning awards for being the best in the business.
It's like the Ray Guy Award for Best Punter, where you were clearly robbed.
Moving on, if you're a landowner, these Kubota tractors simply outkick the competition.
Kubota? Nice try, buddy.
Tried a little fake there. I'm kind of known for that.
Carolina Power Equipment, 2490 Charleston Highway in the heart of Casey. Or visit carolinapowerequipment.com.
Kubota, it's the only orange I'll ever love.
Spring, a word we all like to hear. Unless, of course, your home springs a leak. Don't worry. The experts at On-Call Plumbing, Heating, and Air can spring into action and take care of any problem that pops up. They have trained technicians, not trained salespeople. On-Call is locally owned and operated and can be there when you need them. Schedule service quickly and conveniently with their app or visit OnCallSC.com.
On-Call Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Pick up the phone and we'll be right there. Call 781-HELP.
The demand for your used car is at an all-time high, and it's never been worth more. Herndon Chevrolet needs your trade. We'll buy your car, even if you don't buy ours. And to prove it, we're willing to beat any written offer by $500. That's right, we'll beat any written offer by $500. Visit Herndon Chevrolet today.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile. Smile.
803-630-5929 for more details.
It's time to get a hop on your spring cleaning checklist with the help of Zero S Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZeroSColumbia.com.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Wednesday morning to you. It's time for your First Alert traffic update. As we've seen early on this morning, there has not been anything going on around the region in terms of major backups, slowdowns, confirmed collisions, causing problems for that morning commute. Of course, as we keep on into the rest of this day, we'll keep you posted for the morning hours, getting you to work as safely as possible. Thanks again for listening for this WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Schifferl.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
$7:40 on a Wednesday morning. No baseball this week. Baseball team gets a little bit of a break on Tuesday and Wednesday night, so last night, tonight. But that didn't mean there wasn't some big baseball news yesterday. University of South Carolina Athletic Department announcing they will retire the jersey of Kip Balknight prior to Friday night's game against Auburn. Gamecocks Tigers set for first pitch at 7 p.m. You can hear right here on 107.5 the game first pitch, 7 p.m. Pregame starts at 6:45. So you need to get out there and honor Kip Balknight, the winningest pitcher in South Carolina history, 45-12, set a school record, 482 innings, started a Carolina best 66 games, holds the school record for strikeouts, 457. In 2000, Balknight went 17-1 to help lead the Gamecocks to a 55-10 record in SEC championship, won the prestigious Golden Spikes Award presented by the USA Baseball as the top amateur baseball player in the United States. He was named a consensus All-American by ABCA, Baseball America, and Collegiate Baseball. Of course, he helped South Carolina back-to-back super regionals in 2000 and 2001. Look, Kip, as we go further and further away from someone's career, I think either we do one of two things. We memorialize it more, or we kind of forget about it. But Kip Balknight was, I don't want to say the start of South Carolina baseball, because that's unfair. There were some great teams under June Raines, some great teams under Bobby Richardson. South Carolina played in the College World Series before. But there's no doubt the Killer Bees, led by Kip Balknight back in 2000. We've had Brian Jeffcoat on this program before, or used to be a regular contributor. Those teams got South Carolina baseball under Ray Tanner rolling. And to be the teams, to be the program that we've come to know and love, and why, to an extent, being ranked number 3 right now is not a huge deal around here, because that's South Carolina baseball. I know there have been some lean years the last few years, but South Carolina fans, who I think, again, are some of the smartest baseball fans in the country. They've seen great baseball. They've seen great pitching. They know what it looks like. They know when to cheer, when to be quiet. Founders Park, when it's at its best, is one of the best venues in collegiate baseball. And Kip Balknight was a big part of South Carolina baseball being where it's at now. Unfortunately, he never got to play in the World Series in Omaha. But, that 2000 season, I think for Gamecock fans to remember, whether you were in college, whether you were, a little bit older and you had maybe seen the end of the June Raines era, that's a special season. Very similar, I think, to say the Lou Holtz 8-4 Outback Bowl season that occurred in 2000 and 2000, the 2001 Outback Bowl game. Remember, that was the Ryan Brewer game, and that you just saw the turnaround. Yeah, there have been better seasons. There have been national championships. There have been teams that have gone to play in the national championship game that didn't win it. But that 2000 team was so special, and it was led by Balknight. It was led by a lot of great players. Ray Tanner saying the retirement of Kip's jersey is a fitting tribute to one of the greatest players in the history of Gamecock baseball. Kip was one of the fiercest competitors I've ever coached. He competed to be great, and he was setting school and career records on his way to earning SEC and national honors. I do ask this, and this is not a knock on Kip or anybody else. I just wonder where we are with jersey retirement. There's no doubt in my mind that Kip should be honored. And one thing they're going to do is put the number 14 out there on the wall next to Ray Tanner. I just wonder from this day and age, and it's a question I'll never get to answer, but if, I'm sure at some point we'll have Kip back on the program. He's been on before with us, know him well, great guy. I'll go ahead and make the joke. He's a bad golfer. Just tell him he's a bad golfer. Just get him really riled up. Get him fired up. Just tell him bad golfer. But a great guy, awesome competitor. But I would ask him, how would you, being humble, how would you want to be honored? Would you want your jersey retired? Is that the ultimate honor? I still think at times South Carolina should have a true, at every venue, should have a ring of honor. I really like what they did. I like what they've done at Williams-Brice Stadium with having the names lit up on the press box. And, I don't know, jersey retirements to me are, I guess, kind of like autographs now. Like, autographs are cool. I don't really go out of my way to try and get one. I really stopped that sometime around 12, 13, 14. They're cool. If you got one, that's awesome, But, jersey retirements, how would you want to honor a Kip Balknight or a Connor Shaw, or you get the point? What would you do in that scenario? I love the ring of honor. I love the Ring of Honor and maybe not doing the jersey retirement. It's kind of just something that's different that makes you stand out a little bit more as opposed to other schools, other universities, and how they do it. Like you walk in, South Carolina has a great entrance at Founders Park out there in center field. And you walk in and you see the national championship trophies and everything. And I'd like to see that expanded into something maybe more similar. And I think the Yankees retire jerseys, but similar into almost like at Founders Park, a Hall of Fame kind of area, more of a you could call it a walk of champions, if you will, or something like that. You get my point, like being able to go over and really see something prior to the game. That's the one thing across the board I don't know if South Carolina has. Like Asia Wilson got a statue. And to me, that's perfect. That is the way to do it. And if you had outside of Founders Park there on Ray Tanner, what is it, Ray Tanner Boulevard or whatever, Ray Tanner Lane or Drive?
Is it Ray Tanner Way?
Way, thank you. Clearly not very good around here. I'm not MapQuest. But, yeah, if you had out there just a string of statues of great players, to me, that's a little bit different. Now, I don't know if people agree with that. 803-404-6100. Maybe I'm way off on my jersey retirement thought here, but that it is something that I think is a little bit different. Steve Spurrier, Tim Tebow, Steve Spurrier, Tim Tebow, and I don't remember. Maybe somebody can remind me. I've got a picture of my son down there in front of the statues at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. And it's just, to me, when you do something like that, it's even more special. We're trying to decide, I feel like, or we were having this discussion in February, in March, there in April. All right, how do we honor Aaliyah Boston? What do we...
Because parameters, and because you can't just put up 4,000 statues. Not that there's going to be that many who have really earned that, but at a certain point, yeah, what is the best way to honor them, because you only have so much real estate to work with?
It's not that he shouldn't be honored. Let me be perfectly
100%.
Clear about that.
Absolutely.
I think the question is, how do you honor your greats? Because to me,
yep.
And let me know. I want to know if I'm wrong on this. I'm interested here. 803-404-6100. Is retiring jerseys archaic? Like, I feel there's better ways to do it now. There's technology. There's better, like, having. I'm serious. You could have. I'm not trying to go as far
You're
as
running out of numbers.
Well, I'm not trying to go as far as like, oh, you have a holographic or whatever, a hologram of the person that, you get my point. Like, I'm not trying to have Tupac up on stage and they've got a hologram of him. But I do wonder, in this day and age, what is the proper way? Is the jersey retirement the ultimate way? Or is it a statue? Because whatever it is, Kip Bulknight deserves it. Let's be perfectly clear on that.
100%.
803-404-6100. What's your take on retirement of jerseys? Is that the truly best way to honor somebody? 803-404-6100. I'll leave you with this other thought from Patrick. Chicken lips, fried to a nice crisp, done right, tastes like a bugle. Do chickens have lips? So they had beaks. Is somebody messing with us?
Yeah, I was going to say, are we being punked on that?
I think we are.
Something we would have to look up.
I feel like we are. 803-404-6100. You're listening to The Early Game on 107.5 The Game.
We appreciate you listening to 107.5 The Game. And because you are a loyal listener, you might have noticed the last few weeks that the game hasn't sounded as strong coming through your speakers. Or you all of a sudden can't pick up the station in certain places around the Midlands. Well, a few weeks ago, our main transmitter was damaged during a storm. It'll still be a few more weeks until we get the parts to have it fixed. So if you're having issues listening to 107.5 The Game, we encourage you to go to iTunes or the Google Play Store and download our app. In a couple of clicks, you'll be hearing the game loud and clear. Thanks again for your patience and for listening to 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Life matters.
Sometimes we imagine enemies when there are none to be found. During the Cold War, when hockey great Phil Esposito was a young member of the Canadian national team sent to play the Russians in Moscow, he and his roommate searched their hotel room for hidden microphones. Finding a small, round piece of metal embedded in the floor under a rug, they assumed they had found the hidden bug. As patriotic Canadians, they pried out the device only to hear a tremendous crash from the room below. They had removed the anchor that held the chandelier to the ceiling beneath them. A great story, but we really do have enemies. The Bible tells us that Jesus came to destroy the works of the wicked one. The job of Satan, Jesus said, was to kill, steal, and destroy. But Jesus came to give us abundant, meaningful life. This is Stephen Chitty, pastor of Christian Life on Bush River Road. Visit us on the web at ChristianLifeColumbia.com. Remember, life matters, and so do you. Go to CLColumbia.com for in-person and live streaming service times.
That's the sound of the Doorbuster pricing event going on now at Galliana Kia on Greystone. Galliana Kia on Greystone is making deals so good, they're breaking down the doors. 2023 Kia Forte LXS, lease for just $199 per month. 2023 Kia Sorento LX, lease for just $299 per month. Upgrade to a new Kia today. We'll get you out of your current loan or lease, even if you're over mileage, have months left, or still owe thousands. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. If you got a job and you make at least $2,000 per month, our lenders can get you approved. Don't miss these doorbuster deals. New Kias for $199 per month.
Gotta go.
The sooner you come, the more you save at Galliana Kia on Greystone. I-126 Zoo exit in Columbia. Call 779-7300 or KiaColumbia.com. Sorento stock number K3699. Forte stock number 3K1548. 24-month leases, 10,000 miles per year. $39.99 due at signing plus tax tag includes $225 closing fee. No security deposit. Negative trade equity financed in new loans subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
Spectrum Business is the no-nonsense way for small businesses to stay connected with fast, reliable internet service and Spectrum Business Connect, the all-in-one app to make calls, host video conferences, and send texts. Connect to customers from any device, anywhere. Get both and get one mobile line free for 1 year. No contracts, no hidden fees, no nonsense. Just business. Visit spectrum.com/business today. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
Are unauthorized parked cars taking up valuable spots in your lot? Schroeder's Towing has the solution. With 21 trucks in our fleet, we'll quickly remove any unauthorized vehicles from your property. Plus, we offer free signage to let everyone know that your lot is for customers only. At Schroeder's Towing, we take pride in providing reliable and professional towing services. Our team is available 24/7 to assist you with all of your towing needs. Don't let parking problems hurt your business. Call us today at 343-8519 and let us handle the rest.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest hookers in town.
Plus, takes entitled with approved credit. Call 888-411-7640 for details. Buy a Ram and buy it at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. We have truckfuls and truckfuls of Rams. South Carolina's truck giant stays stocked. Up to $11,000 off on a new 2022 Bighorn Ram. Or take one for just $359 a month. Save $5,000 on new Durangos, Chargers, and Challengers. Credit concerns? Not with JT. The truck giant says yes, you can. It's Ram Truck Month at JT's Dodge Land on Greystone. JT'sDodge.com.
It's time to get a hop on your spring cleaning checklist with the help of Zerust Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZerustColumbia.com.
Get the right care at the right place. Visit Lexington Medical Center's convenient urgent care centers for minor illnesses and injuries, and use our emergency room for emergencies. Go to lexmed.com/care now to know where to go for the care you need now.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Taking a look at your traffic conditions out there this morning. Lucius Road near Marlborough Street. There is a report of an accident there. Also, Leaphart at Highway 1, you will find a slowdown due to an earlier accident. In your forecast for today, some clouds and looking for a high of 73, maybe some scattered showers in there as well. But right now it's kind of breezy and overcast. It's 56 at 107.5 The Game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
The early game
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Did some research. There's no such thing as chicken lips. Well, at least not, it's not part of the anatomy. There are chicken lips. It's chicken breasts that are then like fried, basically chicken tenders, essentially, is what I've come to it says ingredients: skinless chicken breast, buttermilk flour, half cup of hot sauce, 1 teaspoon minced garlic, 1 cup butter. There you go. So it's chicken tenders.
Oh, okay. We'll look at that.
Well, but the anonymous texter definitely had me going for a minute. I was like, wait a minute. Pretty sure I've seen a chicken before.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, don't know. But didn't know if maybe there was something with the interior of the beak, that in the mouth or some kind of a membrane that we didn't know about that could have been deemed that. So good to at least investigate.
Who knows? We looked it up. A lot of you weighing in on the discussion here. I'm not saying what's right or what's wrong. I'm kind of fascinated to have this discussion and hear other people's opinions on retiring jerseys and what it means today. Does it mean the same as it used to? I feel like in the 80s and the 90s, the retirement of a jersey meant a lot. I feel like today it still means something. You have great players. You have great players. We're doing something, but is there something higher than a retire? Is a statue outside the stadium more where you walk up? Because when we retire a jersey, the reason is you bring your children to the park or the football or whatever basketball arena, and you go, man, I watched, number 2 or number 2 Sterling Sharp, or I watched number 14 Kip Bolton. That guy was awesome. Does it mean more if you walk up to the stadium, there's a statue there of Kip peering over his glove or in form, and you go, that guy back in the day, 17-1 in 2000, Golden Spikes Award winner, National Player of the Year. I don't know. I'm
Is there
asking.
something like the Indy 500 Borg Warner trophy that, where their face is put on something, and I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
We'll continue discussing. Hour 3 on the way.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
I'm proud to work for Volvo Cars because we're helping build a safer, more sustainable future for everyone. My name is Tamara Thompson. I'm from South Carolina, born and raised in Sumter. I'm a quality launch supervisor at the Volvo Cars plant in Ridgeville. I'm helping build the new Volvo EX90 here. At Volvo Cars, people are at the center. We feel supported, recognized, and feel like we can grow our careers. And we're hiring. Apply now at readysc.org/Volvo.
No manufacturing experience required. Must be 18 years or older with a high school diploma or GED.
Larry Lightner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Liner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing.
Hi, everybody. This is Woody Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Tree Service. Pioneer Tree Service has more than 4 decades of helping homeowners maintain and manage trees on their property. Their skilled crew offers customized solutions that match your needs and budget. Tree trimming and tree removal can be dangerous. You need to trust the people that are doing the job. Before attempting to remove limbs, call Pioneer Tree Service for a free quote. They remove limbs safely and make sure that future growth is directed away from potential trouble areas such as roof lines and driveways. Cutting down trees takes more than a chainsaw. Even branches can weigh thousands of pounds, and their removal must be handled with care. Pioneer Tree Service offers a full complement of state-of-the-art heavy equipment, from track hose to bucket trucks to safely remove trees and stumps from your property. And no matter where you live, the Gantt girls can get there. And I want you to call them at 803-794-8250.
Have you been debating if you should replace your old HVAC unit? What if you could get up to $5,300 off the cost of a new unit today? Call AAA Heating and Air, 803-677-1500 for a free estimate to see what AAA Heating and Air can do for you. Let their comfort advisors inform you of the current Inflation Reduction Act, which can offer a huge tax credit. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Let's take second title. Approved credit call 888-2063-59 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by the Power of Love Chevrolet, celebrating the Chevy Silverado for the first time in history, the #1 selling retail full-size pickup in America. Come by and feel the power of love. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. The early game
with Bill Gunter.
South Carolina will be getting ready. The baseball team will be getting ready for a series that weekend against what? Oh, no. The problem is I'm looking at April. That's why there's no March 24th. That's why there's no March. That's why there's no Friday the 24th.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne and Jen Jensen.
That would explain exactly. I was like, what is wrong with this calendar? Like, why is there no? There was a Friday the 21st and a Friday the 28th, and I was like, this is not adding up at all.
on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
That incredibly sizzling hot take is almost 2 months old because Friday the 28th that I was looking at there is this coming Saturday.
Mm-hmm. But it was still funny.
It was, and it speaks volumes about why I need a vacation next week and why we will be taking one on next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday while we'll be out. So prepare accordingly. But again, this coming Saturday, the 28th, is when I have my dates all off. It's Friday night. I'm sorry. Friday night. I was thinking of Saturdays, but Friday night, the 28th, you can get out to Gamecock Ballpark. You can get out to Founders Park and see Kip Bulknight's jersey retired. I will bring this up and get here to Elwood in just a second. I don't know. I'm reading the university release. It says we'll retire the jersey. Somebody pointed out on our Firehouse Subs text line, there is a difference between retiring a jersey and retiring a number. And I do agree with that. I do understand that. Technically, retiring a jersey, you could still use the number if need be, as opposed to.
And that's an important distinction.
I'm assuming it, but it's become more of an important distinction as we kind of move forward because naturally, I think all of us, you hear jersey retirement, we go, oh, okay, that means that number is no longer in circulation for brand new players. But on Friday night, you can get out to Founders Park and check out the retirement ceremony for Kip Bulknight, one of the best baseball players to ever come through the University of South Carolina, won the Golden Spikes Award, 17-1 in 2000, consensus All-American, just absolutely phenomenal career. So make sure you pack the park for Kip there on Saturday night. Be a really great honor for him. 803-404-6100. I'm going to get into some of these text messages because there's some interesting stuff on this. As I ask you this morning, what does retiring a jersey mean? Or is that the best way to honor a legend? I mean, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about great players. We're not just talking about the second string offensive lineman or, the reliever that came in and threw a couple in. We're talking about great players. We're all on the same page with that. 803-404-6100. Out to the Love Chevy phone lines we go. Elwood wants to weigh in this morning. Elwood, how you doing? What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, y'all. Great show as usual. And you kind of stole a little bit of my thunder there. To me, they have made the distinction on what they're doing, and obviously I'm not a part of the university or anything, but every time I've seen anything about it, it said that they're retiring the jersey and not the number, which is, like you guys just said, is a very huge distinction. So you're talking about a lot right now. Obviously, you can't make a statue for every player that maybe you want to retire a jersey for. The way that Carolina baseball is starting to do it, though, I really like, because, like y'all said a couple segments ago, they're putting his number on the wall out there beside Ray. I think we've got a couple others out there. So if they're going to spread them out across the wall, it kind of gives that Ring of Honor vibe that you were talking about a second ago to it. But also, I mean, like I said, you can't, I guess the analogy is kind of like this. I'm a big Boston Celtics fan, right? So Larry Bird deserves a statue out in front of the Boston Garden. Kevin Garnett deserves his number, his number retired. You get what I'm saying? So that's just my idea. I'll hang up and listen. Great show, guys. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, appreciate it. That's a good point. I went back to look. Jadeveon Clowney, obviously this past season, as I'm looking at the press release, it was a jersey retirement. I'm looking to see if there's anything specific in here. I'm reading it. It just says will be honored for 3 collegiate seasons on Saturday. The school will retire his number 7 jersey. Of course, then I looked at the roster, and for those of you wondering, and can you name that player without looking it up? There are 2 players that are currently wearing number 7. One of them you should know. But the bottom line is, like, I don't, again, jersey retirements, it is fascinating, because one thing that I feel like South Carolina could do a lot better job of, and this goes back to the conversation we had about the property that's been purchased down behind the behind the football training facility. I would like to see more of a South Carolina Hall of Fame or museum, University of South Carolina Hall of Fame or museum, to honor players. And quite honestly, the best time to do that is probably on a South Carolina football Saturday, if you had a facility to walk through, and you could really put videos of those players, the highlights of those players in this Hall of Fame. You could do more than what you could just do at Founders Park at Colonial Life Arena. But you think about how many people come to Williams-Brice Stadium on a game day Saturday, when you're talking about 75,000 people, and the chance to take your kids down there and just walk through and talk about old players that you saw when you were growing up or when you were in college. And if you can have highlights of it, that's one thing. But at the actual facilities, again, we're talking, there is a difference. There is a difference between, I'm trying to think of a really good baseball player, like off the top of my head, between a Kip Balknight and an Adrian Morales. Adrian Morales was really good and a huge part of those national championships. Might have been the backbone of it in 2000. But we all agree Adrian Morales didn't really do enough to warrant a jersey retirement or a statue. So there's a difference between he and Kip Balknight. But what do you do? What is the highest honor you can give your established athletes, if you will? Ray Tanner obviously deserved having a street named after him. Mm-hmm. Dawn Staley is, whenever she wraps it up here.
Well, and isn't part of that in front of Colonial Life Arena? Isn't part of that says Dawn Staley Way or something like that? I thought.
Yeah, I mean, those are all cool things.
Yeah, but how is there something that immortalizes them a little differently? And yeah, I love the statue idea, but again, I think you run out of space. Not that many people are going to be awarded such an honor, but yeah, there's got to be a really cool way to showcase these folks.
I was just trying to glance real quick to see, because I'll give you a perfect example. Ray Tanner, I just wanted to make sure of this because I felt like I'd heard this at some point, but I guess I'm wrong. Like it should be Ray Tanner Field at Founders Park. That's a great way to honor. Like that's something that's so unique that obviously no one would ever have it again, but it should be Ray Tanner Field at Founders Park. And maybe one day it will be. It's, again, how do we honor our greats is an interesting question that I think is out there. 803.
It's the Balknight pitcher's mound. Start naming the bases.
That actually is I you know what? Let me give you this one from Matt in West Columbia, and I want you to be open-minded when I read this.
Mm-hmm.
because it's possible now. What Matt describes here, I think is possible. And how you go about doing it, I have no clue, but I do know that augmented reality is possible. Matt says you can see things through your camera phone, like videos, stats, memorials specific to the site. Just imagine being able to take a photo with a former Gamecock in his prime or see a famous play being played on the field using the app like a Snapchat. It sounds wild and crazy, but you start thinking about it and the things that we do with technology these days.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. I don't know how it would work. But I mean, what was that? Kids are in the car. So should be in school. But what was we all know it, that stupid little Pikachu game or whatever. Did you see that when people were playing that like 4 or 5 years ago and you take your phone around and you can hold up your phone and there was like a little, I think it was.
You were supposed to like almost have check-in locations or
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, collect the little balls or eggs or something. Yeah. I do remember that.
That actually would be, you got players that, I mean, that's a great way to do it. And it would require people far more smarter than me, but
far more smarter. Yep.
That's the best way I could describe it. You get the point. Save that one because I did that on purpose.
Notated.
There you go. The point being is, and Albert says it should be Steve Spurrier Field at Williams-Brice. You know what? I say no to that. And the only reason I say no to that is because it's already Steve Spurrier Field at the Swamp at Ben Hill Griffin or whatever they got. They've got that thing named like 9 different things.
And you know what? He did great things for the program, but I think it got soured a little bit by the way he left, so I don't know that
there's people that'll get over that.
Yeah,
it's going to be the
perhaps.
same. At some point, people are going to get over Frank Martin and they're going to realize, hey, what he did at South Carolina, the Final Four run, I'll still, without going down a path this morning.
But I agree. We do not want to copy what's at the Swamp.
Well, and that's the other part of this. And I just want to, we'll move on from this here and you can continue to weigh in. That is the other part of South Carolina. I'd like to see them do something unique. And the numbers on the wall are cool. But that's where I love having your own little, at the ballpark, your own little museum out there in center field, where when you walk in, when the opposition walks in, or I say the opposition, but I should say when the opposing fan base walks into that center field entry, they're like, oh, this place is full of history. They've had some really good players here. And they can walk around. I mean, baseball is one of those sports. Same thing with Colonial Life Arena. They're kind of doing that more with the women's team. When you walk in the main entryway, there's a lot of stuff kind of to your right there. There's some retired jerseys. It's cool. I really like it that way. Yep. You got George Rogers out there in one statue, and an anonymous texter, one of the texters said, probably ought to have a few more statues out there. It looks just kind of sad with one statue. George Rogers obviously is a legend at South Carolina, Heisman Trophy winner, incredible running back.
He's next to the big, rooster.
It's true. It's a good point. But I just, there's something like that. And part of this is a family aspect of it, taking your family and saying, hey, here, this is what we have. This is what we did. 803-404-6100. A lot of you weighing in. I'll get back to some of these text messages this morning. Open conversation, because I'm interested just to hear other people's opinions on how South Carolina should be honoring the legends. Kip Balknight set to have his jersey retired on Friday night. What spurred this conversation? 803-404-6100. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Have you missed any of the early game?
You can catch up by going to the early game on demand page at 1075thegame.com.
Or by downloading our 107.5 The Game app on iTunes or Google Play.
Hey, this is Preston here with Absolute Glass, the premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repair. If your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job. Cracked windshields, no problem. They'll come to you and they'll give you a free quote for any job. They'll work directly with the insurance company to take away the headache. If you're looking to increase the value of your home with new windows or mirrors, Absolute Glass will come out and take care of all of that for you. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. You hear me say it all the time on the radio. If you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. That's online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Jets general manager Joe Douglas said yesterday that the Aaron Rodgers trade is a great thing for Zach Wilson. The physically gifted Wilson should benefit from redshirting, as Rodgers himself did until the Packers traded Brett Favre to Gang Green. Part of your legacy is how you treat teammates. A-Rod said back in 2020, I want kinship, not animosity. This is good for Zach Wilson. I'm Boomer Esiason.
CBS Sports Radio.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war in the term life industry. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month. Level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Termbusters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for a new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote. 800-786-9161. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-786-9161. Remember, 1-800-786-9161. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Sponsored by Wendy's $3 breakfast deal. Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is your choice of bacon or sausage, egg and Swiss croissant, plus a small seasoned potatoes for just $3. Break your morning routine and get your $3 breakfast deal today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Carolina Power Equipment, the Midland's Kubota Superstore, is proud to announce our association with Kai Kroger, University of South Carolina punter extraordinaire.
I am super happy to be here. Carolina Power Equipment is the place to come get yourself a Kai Bota.
Sorry, Kai, that's Kubota. You know, Kubota tractors and zero turns.
That's right. Carolina Power Equipment has the awesome Kai Bota tractors that can kick some serious dirt.
Yes, the Kubota L Series tractors are some of the most dependable and popular tractors on the market.
Yep, and the Kai Bota zero turns can keep your lawn looking like game day every day. Guaranteed to stop and turn on a dime, just like my sweet kicks.
It's Kubota. Kubota.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Carolina Power Equipment, 2490 Charleston Highway in the heart of Casey. Or visit CarolinaPowerEquipment.com.
Kubota, it's the only orange I'll ever love.
There's no better place to catch a game on a fall Saturday than at Williams-Brice Stadium. Visit thegamecockclub.com today to secure your tickets. Whatever the game, whoever you're with, just catch a game.
You know it's springtime when you can't stop sneezing every 5 seconds. That's why I call Zerez Air Duct Cleaning so I can breathe easier in my home. You'd be surprised by the amount of pollen, dust, and bacteria that is sitting in your duct system. For this month only, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZerezColumbia.com.
Can you imagine a rainbow of flowers?
In a crystal blue sky.
Filled with music.
And all your friends are there.
And everyone is laughing with joy.
And the whole world is clean and sparkling and singing like Pavarotti.
Put on your wings and fly.
Invite us to your house.
We'll only be there a few minutes.
Our clean and shiny trucks haul away your distractions.
And leave your home sparkling with joy.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Plus text second title with approved credit call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Wednesday morning to you. It's time for your First Alert traffic update. As we've seen early on this morning, there has not been anything going on around the region in terms of major backups, slowdowns, confirmed collisions, causing problems for that morning commute. Of course, as we keep on into the rest of this day, we'll keep you posted for the morning hours, getting you to work as safely as possible. Thanks again for listening for this WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Cifaroli.
And we actually do have an update to the update. Arrow Lane near Broad River Road, there was an accident there. Also, you'll find one Lee Park Road at Augusta Highway or Highway 1. Lucius Road near Marlborough Street, and an accident reported Highway 378 near I-20. And your forecast for today, we're looking for some cloudy conditions, isolated showers, 72 for the high, clouds and 78 tomorrow. Early rain, and then maybe an afternoon or evening storm on Friday, but we'll be up to a high of 80. Overcast and breezy right now, 59 at 107.5 The Game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation just because there's so many varying opinions about how you honor your great players. And South Carolina's had plenty of great players come through in my lifetime since 1982. And I feel like you're seeing more and more as Shane Beamer continues to elevate the program. And you see what Mark Kingston's doing this year. I mean, not to jinx him, and you hope everything continues on the path that certainly it started this year. But, the question you could have is, all right, what do we do with Ethan Petrie here in a few years? How do you honor him? Because obviously this year's looking incredible, and you hope the next 2 years is. But you kind of get the point. What is the criteria on how you go about honoring your truly great players? And Kip Bulknight, if we broke down in my lifetime, the last 40 years, if you broke down the elite of the elite, yeah, Kip's top 5? No worse than top 10, but top 5. I mean, you put up there elite of the elite. I mean, you got Kip, you got Connor Shaw. He didn't win as much. But me personally, Devin Downey kind of got to be up there, right? Or do we have certain standards where Devin Downey is not a BJ Mackey? Would you have Mackey ahead of Downey? Downey was electric, and I guess maybe just because of the team awards, maybe you'd go Mackey, Shaw, Bulknight. Would you have Michael Roth in there? Again, you talk about the truly great players, and there's a list. I'm leaving guys off. Some of you just yelling at your radio right now. Oh, Alshon Jeffrey, or Marcus Lattimore, or Jadeveon Clowney, or other players. Maybe some of you want to throw Melvin Watson in there. You get the point. I don't know, but my point is we're talking about the elite of the elite and how you honor them, and it's a really interesting conversation because again, so many people have so many different opinions on what exactly it is. Steve-O says a plaque wall along the concourse at Founders would be a great way to honor guys.
Mm-hmm.
Anonymous,
and make sure you have a photo of them or a couple, a collage of photos or a bronzed something like of their face or something like that, just to make it stand out even more.
Anonymous texter says statue should be reserved for National Players of the Year. Otherwise, it loses its significance. I agree with that. He says that's why George Rogers has one. That's why Asia Wilson has one. That's why Kip should have one. Why Aaliyah Boston should have one. That's a good point by that texter. The one thing I'll say about I think after having this conversation, I always love doing this, especially early in the mornings. I'm trying to get my bearings. You're trying to wake up. We're all trying to figure things out 6 to 9. After listening to some of you, one thing that I'll say is, and I think this is where I was initially starting it, but after listening to some of you explain it, the thing about the retirement, even with the retirement of a jersey, is that at some point, other people have worn that jersey. Now, it might be specifically to you. It might be, we all know that number and how it relates to you. But at some point in that career, somebody else has worn that particular jersey. You show up with and by the way, right now, for those of you wondering, 14, if you didn't know, I'm kind of like this, 14 is Eli Jones. So somebody else is wearing that jersey. So, yeah, you get that person, you get that player comes back and is like, and their child or grandchild's like, oh, Dad, didn't you wear 14? And yes, son, yes, that's my number on the wall. Big year back in 2023. There's a statue of you. That's personal. And I think that's where I've kind of come to this morning. And I do agree again with that previous texter. It does need, it's not just a all-encompassing thing. It needs to encompass, a player of the year type thing. But that's really cool. Then behind that, you have other players that you kind of honor. We'll see. Get out to the ballpark on Friday night. Bottom line, get out there, go honor Kip Balknight, the winningest pitcher in South Carolina baseball history. We've had Kip on this program. Definitely will have him on again in the future. But they will retire Kip Balknight's jersey. And I'll be honest, I just brought it up again. The way we do things around here, professionally sloppy, chaotic at times. Topics just come to us as we're doing the show. I would kind of ask you, give me the top 5 over the last 40 years, 1980, or, if you want to go, so 43, I was born in 82. A week from today, I was born in 1982. But give me your top 5 players of South Carolina over just the last 40 years. Just the last 40, 42 years. Who are the top players there that you would honor in that way? Connor Shaw was really good. Do you honor him with a statue, or because he didn't win a national championship or didn't win a player of the year type thing? Do you not honor him in that way? Is it only Kip? Is it only Asia, Aaliyah? Dawn Staley's got championships. Obviously, Ray Tanner has them. Is that what we deem as necessary for the elite of the elite honors? Give me your top 5 athletes, 803-404-6100 of the last 40 years. I'd be kind of interested to hear that. Want to remind you, by the way, thank you to all of you out there who, when I talked about the augmented reality game, who quickly informed me it was Pokemon Go. I appreciate keeping me in line there with.
Oh, okay. Pikachu's a character in Pokemon, right?
I never played it. I have no clue.
Me neither.
Okay. We are the old fuddy-duddies around here. We did not get involved in the Pokemon Go, which a couple of you are still apparently playing per the text messages on the Firehouse Subs text line. Do want to remind you, coming up Monday, May the 8th, you can get out and hear Shane Beamer, Lamont Paris, Tony Annan, a bunch of South Carolina coaches. It's the Welcome Home Tour coming to a city near you. It'll be in the Midlands here on Monday, May the 8th. The general public is where it's open to. You can get tickets for $40. Go to thegamecockclub.com/welcome home tour. Again, it'll be a pretty fun event. It is the off season. It's travel time for these guys. Doors open at 5:30. It'll be held down at Seawells. Again, $40 per ticket. You can go to thegamecockclub.com/welcome home tour. Shane Beamer, Tony Annan, Lamont Paris, all kinds of coaches. Mark Kingston, obviously, not going to be there, or shouldn't be there because he's got baseball. You get the point. But coming up on Monday, May the 8th, you can make it out there. Tickets are available at Seawells. $40 per ticket. Again, go to thegamecockclub.com/welcome home tour, and you can go check that out and hang out with the coaches, hang out with a bunch of other Gamecocks. There'll be some neat raffles and prizes and auctions. You can get out there and have a good time. I know that women's basketball didn't end the way everybody wanted it to. Obviously, men's basketball didn't go the way everybody wanted to, but let's be honest, it's a great time to be celebrating South Carolina athletics. Football.
Oh, man, huge.
Football back where you want it. Women's basketball had a fantastic year, absolutely fantastic year. And, of course, right now what's happening with baseball, it's a good time for South Carolina athletics to be celebrating. Other sports doing really well as also. So get out there Monday, May the 8th at Seawells. You can go to the Welcome Home Tour, thegamecockclub.com/welcome home tours, where you can purchase tickets, $40 per ticket. 803-404-6100 is the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Got something to say?
Ring us up on the Love Chevy phone line. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer.
At 803-404-6100.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
If you have an IRS problem, getting accurate legal advice could help get all this behind you right now. Hi, I'm local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. To get the best results for our clients, we stay on top of the law and the IRS rules and regulations. It's important to us to get you back on track and in compliance legally without worry for your future. At the Ecton Law Firm, we've handled hundreds of cases for everyday hardworking people like you right here in the Carolinas. Don't face the IRS alone. Know your legal rights. Call me to set up your appointment. The first visit is completely free and confidential. You'll meet with a licensed attorney in person at our office in Irmo, just off I-26. If you're facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call me, John Ecton, at 803-771-9800. That's 803-771-9800. Or go to ectonlawfirm.com. Carolinas, if you have an IRS issue, you need a local attorney. You need me, John Ecton.
Let's text entitled with approved credit call 866-243-4623 for details. JT means Jeeps and trucks. The biggest Jeep and truck selection in South Carolina is at JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. Get your new 2023 Jeep Wrangler now. Save $5,000 off. Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, Compass, Wagoneer. New Jeeps up to $7,500 off. New Rams up to $11,000 off. Shaky credit, don't sweat it. JT says you're approved. JT means Jeeps and trucks. 378 Lexington. JT'sJeepRam.com. Jeep celebration event.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we know how serious injuries change people's lives. I'm Jason Reynolds. When you're involved in a major car or truck accident, my team is on your side. You don't have to be alone. Let's do this together.
And I'm Steven Samuels. When you're hurt at work, my team is with you from start to finish. We're people with a passion for helping injured workers. Bring your case to us and stop the worry. We've got this.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Like any good agent, we're here for the open house, for the closing, for handing over keys. But because we're realtors, we're here for so much more. Agents who are realtors volunteer at nearly 3 times the national average. We're working to broaden access to credit, increase affordable housing supply, and ensure fair housing for all. Realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We're here for it all. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Natalia, solid dismount, but that little pause is a deduction.
Top tumblers hope to stick the landing with Coach Jasmine.
That aerial sequence still needs work.
She needs more certified athletic trainers to find her balance.
Focus. I'm going to need you for the all-around. Wait, who's spotting the vault?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
And looking at traffic conditions out there this morning, Arrowwood Lane and near Broad River Road, getting that cleaned up. Also an accident, Corley Mill Road at River Chase Way. Highway 378 near I-20, an accident there, and downtown Columbia, Pickens Street near Wheat Street. Forecast for today, going to see some clouds and maybe a couple isolated showers. 72 for our high, 78 on Thursday. Early rain and then maybe an afternoon storm on Friday, but a high of 80. Right now, it's overcast, a little bit breezy out there, and it's 59 at 107.5 The Game.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
Eight zero 6100 is how you can weigh in this morning if you would like to do so. Covering several different topics. Have been talking a lot about the retirement ceremony on Friday night for Kip Bulknight. Great honor for him, obviously, and then that kind of just leads into other questions. There's the talk about what we're going to do, what they're going to do down at Williams-Brice Stadium to enhance the stadium and do this and do that. And, it is cool as we move. The more technology you have, and there's a lot of technology out there these days, the things you can do inside the stadium to honor great players. And earlier, someone weighed in, I think it was Matt, weighed in with augmented reality. Justin weighs in. And this is not ridiculous what we're talking about, Jen. This is not like wild, Matrix type turn of the century when we go to the year 3000 type stuff. This is stuff that's very possible. Justin says to honor legendary players, they could put up a large QR code on the outfield wall, the football scoreboard, put it up somewhere in the basketball facility. And when scanned by any smartphone, it takes you to a Gamecock Legends portal that would have those great athletes in the sport, their stats, photos. You could even have highlights that would be easy to update with new additions and would highlight their achievements.
Because I think they do something like that at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It's like you can go get more information and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's really cool. A great way to experience it. It's definitely, I think you want to have something visible at a park or at a stadium or something like that, because not everybody, you still have an older population who, okay, I'm not scanning a QR code. I have no idea what you want me to do with that. So I think you still want to have something tangible there, but they could go into a lot more depth with that QR code. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm all for. To me, and maybe I'm wrong on this. I view it more with as you're doing it to promote your legends with younger kids. So you're sitting there between innings, and obviously you're kind of enjoying the game. And you get your phone, you hand it to your son or your daughter, and go, "Oh, I remember this player here. Watch this highlight." Like, to constantly be at Williams-Brice Stadium.
We may have new jobs, Bill.
We do. Let's hope it's not in the bad way.
But I'm going to go on the assumption that we have just such great ideas. They're going to say, you guys need to come and just start this whole program for us.
But I do. I mean, how many of you out there right now? I guess it's the easiest thing in the world to be sitting in your seat at Williams-Brice Stadium and go on YouTube.com and pull up the hit by Jadeveon Clowney. But yeah, how many of you out there that would be fun to have is you're sitting there in between timeouts. Of course, now we're going to run the clock on first down, so maybe less time. But it is something there where I think South Carolina be forward thinking and have something like that. It would be really cool. And we'll see what exactly South Carolina does moving forward. One more thing, Jim, and a lot of you are weighing in on this, Jim, on our live stream, says retiring a jersey and a ring of honor are basically the same thing. Retiring a number is the ultimate honor. No one else can ever wear that number. That's huge. That's not outdated. I don't know. I understand where you're going with that on the retirement of a number, and I do agree. Retirement of a number, totally different than anything else. But I don't know. That's why I was wondering: is it archaic? And with new technology, are we able to do a little bit more with it? We'll continue that discussion. I'll be interested to get Preston back in. Tony Annan expected in with us on Friday as well. They'll discuss both Tottenham versus Newcastle, the beating that was, and we'll also get into some of this as Tony and Preston see it, two former athletes. Do want to mention this real quick. Yesterday coming out, Dawn Staley excited to announce that they have landed a top 10 transfer from Oregon, Tahina, I think I'm saying this correctly, Tahina Paopao.
That's just going to be so much fun.
Tahina. I even pulled up the pronunciation guide for it. Tahina Paopao, a guard from Oregon, is coming in. 5'9", three-time All Pac-12 selection, including a pair of first-team selections. She's just shy of 1,000 points in her three seasons at Oregon. Averaged 12.5 points for her career, 13 points last season, scored in double figures 51 times in her 77 career outings. For those of you wondering, she is a 38% career three-point shooter. So this is a young lady who's coming in. They can shoot the three ball pretty well. Tahina Paopao is how I am reading and how I'm supposed to announce that. So kudos, Dawn Staley, adding, as she calls it, another birdie to the nest. And it'll be a big part next year, probably teaming with Raven Johnson for Dawn Staley's team to give them a little backcourt power. We'll continue to see what they do on the recruiting trail, both through the transfer portal and through high school recruiting. But certainly an interesting time for Dawn Staley, because all the names we've become so accustomed to the last few years, the Cooks, the Bostons, the Beals, you get the point. All these great players. It's almost like a brand new era. It's almost like a fresh start, and not in a great way, but a fresh start for Dawn Staley's team. And now you get to learn a whole new batch of what was at one time McDonald's All-American names as they go about trying to earn the right to have this discussion. Should we build a trophy for them, or should we have a statue, or should we just retire a jersey? So it'll be a new era. But Tahina Paopao, a 5'9" guard from Oregon, transferring into the University of South Carolina, and will be a big part of next year's team. 803-404-6100. Up next, we head to Dover. That's right, Dover, Delaware. Oh, there's one.
How long is that track, Bill?
It is
no Googling. Get your hands off that keyboard
roughly,
right now. Hands off that keyboard.
It's long, it's short, it's somewhere in between. It's one of the three. They've moved it all around throughout the years. The turns are at a 24-degree angle, though.
Okay, stop reading. You're done. We'll go to a break. I'm over you.
Kerry Tharp is next. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
We are very social.
At 1075 The Game on Twitter, 1075 The Game on Instagram, and 1075 The Game on Facebook.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request? Oh, I'll have to check.
Your home of the Gamecocks, 1075 The Game.
Keeping a clean home this time of year, it can be a little difficult. There's mud out there. There's pollen out there. There's kids out there, and kids don't care about any of that. They just like tracking dirt and mud. Matter of fact, yesterday, Austin, we were going to soccer practice, and he came down the stairs with his soccer cleats on. He hadn't worn them in like a week. And as he hopped from like the third stair to the kind of the tile that I have, you know, as kids do that, he landed kind of hard. Mud went everywhere. He had not bothered cleaning off the bottom of his shoes. Mud was all over. It was that dried up mud, that caked up mud that just went everywhere. He kind of looked at me and said, Dad, don't worry about it. You got zero res. They'll come in with their patented ZR water technology, scientifically proven to keep your carpet, our rugs, our tile, our upholstery all insanely clean. And I said, son, you're right. You need to go to school more often and listen less to your father's commercials, though. You seem to know way too much. You should be in school. But he was confident he could make a mess. It wouldn't be a problem because we use Zero Res. You can use them as well. Right now, give them a phone call, 803-262-4020. You can schedule that spring cleaning for you and the family, and it will not cost you all that much money. It's a great deal going on. You can get 3 rooms of carpet clean when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game for just $129. So don't wait any longer. Contact Zero Res today, 803-262-4020, or schedule online. ZeroResColumbia.com is how you can do that. Again, with that patented ZR water technology, scientifically proven to keep your carpet, your rugs, your tile, your upholstery all insanely clean. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game. And you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. Don't wait any longer. Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Sponsored by Taco Bell. In the morning, Taco Bell keeps it toned down and simple, like the breakfast crunch wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown in a grilled tortilla. Nothing too wild, just delicious. Taco Bell breakfast. Served until 11 a.m.
Hey, this is Ray.
And Mary Ann with Absolute Glass.
And we're happy to have been voted Lexington's best glass store for 13 years in a row.
Many drivers are unaware that your cracked windshields can be replaced, usually at absolutely no cost to you.
If all the high-end car dealerships in town can trust us to do their glass needs, so can you.
We service the Midlands both at our shop in Lexington, but we are also happy to come to you at home or work.
Find us online at absoluteglassinc.com.
And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's $7,500 sign-on bonuses, increased pay, and great employee benefits available. Start your new year off with a new career. Visit joinscdc.com to apply today or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
Plus text section title with approved credit call 888-320-6359 for details. JT's Kia just received nearly 200 new Kias fresh off the truck, and we're trying to move them quick. So while they last, you can get a spanking new Kia from $18,990. Drive the perfect SUV crossover, the Kia Sorento, for just $239 a month. And your credit problem is no longer a problem when you see JT. Don't miss these deals. Rush to JT's Kia, Killian Commons Parkway, jtskia.com.
Hi, my husband and I own a small business in Columbia, and we ended up needing some help with some tax problems that we had and needed to get resolved. We initially owed about $300,000, and John Ecton and his law firm ended up getting us an offer in compromise, which dramatically reduced the amount owed. I would personally recommend the Ecton Law Firm. They did an excellent job for us, and if this is a concern that you're facing, they're definitely the people you should call.
It's great to know we have changed people's lives for the better. Hi, this is local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. For over a decade, our office has been dedicated to helping hardworking individuals and businesses solve tax problems for good. So if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call our office today at 771-9800 or go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com. Let's get your tax problem solved for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
Give Mom a timeout with special gift card savings at Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Get a free facial gift card when you purchase a spa package. Search for the location nearest you to explore their exclusive online gift card sales.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
One last look at your traffic conditions out there this morning. Corley Mill Road at River Chase Way, still working that earlier tie-up, as well as the accident downtown Pickens Street near Wheat Street. Like we said before, some isolated showers today, 72 for the high, clouds and 78 tomorrow. Some early rain, maybe some afternoon storms on Friday, but we will have a high of 80. Sun's trying to peek out right now. It is 60 at 107.5 The Game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The Early Game with Bill Gunter,
former Gamecock Preston Thorne,
and Jen Jensen on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
.848 as we wrap up the program and we get ready to head out to the Monster Mile. It was built in 1969 by Melvin Joseph. Of course, Jen, you know Melvin Joseph. He was with the Melvin L. Joseph Construction Company.
Mm-hmm. So, Kerry, the reason he is saying this is because before we went into the break, I basically handcuffed him and said, you cannot type anything, do no searches whatsoever on the computer, but tell me, how long is the track at Dover? And I got a lot of, so.
Don't laugh like that, Kerry.
Hey, you know what, Jen? Bill's like one of those guys at a trivia contest at a restaurant or bar is always looking at his phone and getting the answer.
Exactly.
Oh,
cheaters will cheat.
That's a yes, because I've got a crystal ball that tells me who the winners are. Unlike I'm not Kerry Tharp. Kerry Tharp is now leading the way in this pick'em after really I mean, have you looked at his last 4 weeks, Jen?
Yeah, he's been solid.
I mean, he
Hey,
is,
I'm on a heater right now, guys. I'm on a heater.
you have no, without doubt, you've scored 20 points. You're averaging 5 points a week. You've scored 20 points in the last 4 weeks to move into first place, 1 point ahead of Preston. 36 points for you, 35 for Preston. I'm in third at 30, or as Jen said the other day, I'm third from last or second from last. And then you got Jen at 29 and Reggie at 28. So at least we've put Reggie in his proper place. Once you put some rules and regulations in, Reggie went back to last place. But kudos, man. You're seeing it well right now. And now we head to Dover. So give us a little breakdown of what you're seeing as we head to Delaware.
Well, excuse me, the Dover track is a very physical track. It's a high bank, 1 mile oval concrete surface. It's like driving in one of those rides you see at the state fair, that takes you around and round. What they used to call that, the roundup or something like that. But it'll be a tough test for these drivers because it's just a lot of physicality on the racetrack, and so I think that you're liable to see some crashes. I've seen some spectacular crashes there over the years. I saw Joey Logano have a pretty bad crash up there several years ago. So I think it's going to be a rough race. I think it's going to be a physical race, and I think, but more importantly, I think it's going to be an exciting race.
I would agree. What were your thoughts on? Oh goodness, Talladega, and how the race ended. Fuel played a big part in everything, and how Busch just kind of snuck right in there and picked up that win.
Boy, he really did. Sometimes you're in the right place at the right time at those big plate tracks like that, and that's kind of what happened. I mean, he did lead some laps down the stretch, but it looked like Bubba Wallace or Ryan Blaney were going to get the win, and then they kind of got into one another a little bit. I thought Bubba got a little aggressive on some of his blocking, and next thing you know, here comes Kyle Busch to the rescue and gets through all of the carnage there. And of course, I think the race ended under caution, and he was the leader at the time of the caution flag coming out. So, he was the beneficiary of somebody else's mistakes. But, sometimes that happens. I've seen it happen many, many times at Talladega and Daytona where, in the last lap, the leaders, kind of run afoul into some accidents there, and the next thing you know, it's somebody coming up through the field to get it done.
Exactly. You can have somebody sitting back there in 15th, and because all of a sudden there's carnage up front, and it's really, it seems to be anybody's race, kind of survival of the fittest.
There's no doubt about it, and that race is, I think our fans love that type of racing. I'm glad that we don't have it every week, but we have it, four times a year, twice at Daytona, twice at Talladega, and I think the fans get their money's worth. And I think the company that makes all of the sheet metal up in Mooresville, North Carolina, certainly gets their money's worth too, because there's some usually tore up race cars once you get out of Daytona and Talladega.
Let's transition real quick to some exciting news that I saw came out yesterday on the Too Tough to Tame Twitter account. Darlington Raceway 3-time winner Dale Jarrett is going to be leading the pack, honorary pace car driver, coming up on Sunday, May 14th. No, you got to be excited about that.
Very excited. Dale Jarrett's a 3-time winner here at Darlington. He's a former Cup Series champion, and he's a Hall of Famer. He's a top 75 driver, and he's a class act and an ambassador for the sport. And so I don't think we could have selected anybody more worthy than Dale Jarrett to drive our Ford Mustang to lead the field to green for the Goodyear 400. So that's very, very exciting news for us.
Real quick, also out yesterday, and this is where I'll be honest. And during this segment, I'll be completely honest. Both of you give everybody a little history lesson. Ron Hornaday named to the NASCAR 75 greatest drivers yesterday.
Absolutely, and Ronnie was a multiple Craftsman Truck Series champion. He's one of the harder competitors I've ever been around. He also raced some in the Cup Series, but primarily known for his Truck Series championships. He's a Hall of Famer. NASCAR Hall of Famer and certainly worthy of a top 75 driver. And I texted him last night, congratulated him. He told me he was coming to Darlington, and so it's always a lot of fun to be around Ron Horner today. He's quite a character.
So again, a lot of great news. Make sure, if you haven't already, go to the website. You can make sure you can purchase your tickets, darlingtonraceway.com. You can check out everything going on. May the 14th, the Goodyear 400. We are 18 days, Kerry, 18 days, 6 hours, 4 minutes, and we tick under 40 seconds away from getting going there. I know you're excited. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks, or in the coming week, really, because it is not far away at all, just 18 days, 6 hours. But now, the Monster Mile, as Kerry said, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of information here. You got to remember the turns, 24-degree banking, just 9-degree banking, as Kerry was pointing out early on the straightaway. So just remember that in your picks here as we move forward. Reggie's
You're super helpful.
I am. That is the way I am.
He reads well, Kerry, most of the time.
No, he does. He's a good reader. He passed third grade.
Never went really much farther than that. Even 7 years in college, he still kind of is at that third grade level.
South Carolina Education, University of South Carolina Education. I'm going to go out on a limb. Reggie is not send a pick in.
Correct.
Okay.
He is not.
Lazy. Why do we let him in this thing? Jen, you're next. Jen, who are we going with this week?
You know what? I think that Elliott's hungry. He hadn't been racing for several weeks, so I think let's go chase Elliott.
That's a good one.
Good pick. Good pick.
That is. I don't like taking drivers that won there last year, and he did win there last year. As we all know, of course, the Hendrick Motorsports team has absolutely dominated at Dover. Matter of fact, in 2001, Alex Bowman won there. The Hendrick drivers finished 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got to pay attention to that. Hendrick's certainly the big one to go with this week. I love my pick on this because I feel like it's just going to drive Jen crazy next week. Give me Kyle Larson.
He'll serve you probably as well as he does for me.
Give me
Good
Kyle.
pick. Good pick.
Give me Kyle Larson. Preston is next. Do we have one of Preston's picks?
I don't think so. So Kerry's up.
Very lazy on these picks. Go ahead, Kerry. Who you got?
It's a good day.
Well, I'm going to go with my guy. He's still trying to break a winless streak in a points race. I'm going with Martin Truex Jr. to win up at Dover.
And he just might.
Yeah. Kerry, we always appreciate it, buddy. 18 days away until you host the nation in Darlington. We look forward to talking with you more about it. Probably on Tuesday.
We're going to talk Tuesday.
Tuesday. We're out Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday talk next week, Bill. You can take the day off.
I'm already taking 3 days off. An extra one will do me no good. Kerry, we appreciate it, buddy. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Take care. Jen, you're all for a vacation. You're semi-vacation. We got about 4 seconds left. You have fun.
Thank you.
I'll see you next Tuesday when we bring Kerry back.
Sounds good.
Y'all have a great day.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock quarterback Spencer Rattler, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game, the home of the Gamecocks.
A Cumulus media station.
Mistakes taken title with approved critical 866-243-4623 for details. JT means Jeeps and trucks. The biggest Jeep and truck selection in South Carolina is at JT's Jeep Ram Lexington. Get your new 2023 Jeep Wrangler now. Save $5,000 off. Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, Compass, Wagoneer. New Jeeps up to $7,500 off. New Rams up to $11,000 off. Shaky credit, don't sweat it. JT says you're approved. JT means Jeeps and trucks. 378 Lexington. JT'sJeepRam.com. Jeep Celebration.
Oliver Gospel Mission.